It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice on the board doing his thing per usual. Is TLC, the loose cannon, a.k.a. Cole. And to my right today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm rocking out with a former Buckeye, a Grey Cup MVP, and a Buckeye wide receiver, Cincinnati's own DeVere Posey in the house.
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Depot, my guy, welcome back in. It's been too long, man. How you been?
Thank you, God. My bad. I was praying because it's been so long, I had to just do a prayer of thankfulness for Matty Ice to have me back as a guest on his show.
Come on, man.
AR, thank you for the opportunity. Listen, man, it wasn't by my doing. I'm joking, but we've been really busy. Super excited to be back. Miss the radio, miss having a voice, talking about sports. There's so much stuff. There's no way we can catch up today.
We got a lot to get into.
There's no way.
We got a lot to get into. You rocking the Buckeye Cruise hoodie over there. How was that experience? I've never been on one.
Since then?
No, it's been a while. It's been too long.
I know.
How was
and we
cruise?
Call ourselves friends.
We are friends. We catch up. We catch up off the air. We catch up off the air. But in person needs to happen a lot more. But the cruise treated you well this year?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Great time. They raised a record number of money for cancer awareness and things that they're doing over there at the James Hospital, and Lisa and Chris Quinn, they just do such a good job, and Ryan Day having the guys on board, and all the Buckeye Cruise family and all the events that lead up to that. It was a hell of a year, man. Yeah. And those people get better every year, man. So I'm excited to be a part of it and do whatever they ask, man. It's such a good cause.
It's awesome, man. That really is cool stuff. Love hearing about it. Folks, I hope you're having a great morning and afternoon. We appreciate your time. As always, here's our lineup today. 12:30, bottom of this hour. We'll talk all things college football with Tom Luginbill from ESPN. 1:30, we'll lock in on the NFL with Mike Tanier, who covers the league for the 2 Deep Zone. And then at 2:30, we'll talk all things Buckeye football related with Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. So that's our lineup for today. Here at the Fan, starting next Monday, we will have a new lineup for you because we got a new morning juice kicking off from 6 to 8 a.m. with Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thidoff, the Fan's YouTube channel, and the Fan 3 on HD Radio and the Fan app. Download the Fan app today. 10 a.m. to noon, you can watch on the 10 TV Plus free streaming app available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download that today. So your lineup starting next Monday, the 12th, will be as follows. 6 to 9 a.m. right here on The Fan. It will be T-Bone and Tyvis Powell, the former Buckeye and national champ. 9 a.m. to noon, it will be Bishop and Friends. Nothing is changing on their show. Same for our show. Noon to 3, it will be Rothman and Ice. The change that's coming after us will be 3 to 6, Common Man and Timmy Hall. Timmy Hall slides up from the Buckeye show. He will now rock out with Mike every day from 3 to 6 p.m. And then 6 to 8 p.m. will be the Buckeye show with our guy, Brandon Beam. So, yeah, Depot, you've been gone for a little minute, man.
Yeah,
and you come back and we got a whole new lineup.
Listen, man, the Cleveland Browns GM is running things here. It's just been, I'm still trying to understand everything, but I love change, and I'm so excited for the future in this season. Obviously, that was the structure for a national championship, so it's okay if we shake things up going into this 2025
Sometimes you move guys up and down in the batting order, and the production will still be there.
We might even hit more home runs.
There you go.
We might hit more.
There you go. I cannot wait to get into the Sharon Moore thing with you, because you're a former player. You know what it takes to play at that highest level, to play within that rivalry. So we'll get to that in just a second. Did want to mention this because last night the NHL had their draft lottery show going on. Coming out of that, we found out that our Jackets will pick 14th and 20th in the upcoming NHL draft, which will happen June 27th and 28th. Very interested to see whether they make both of those picks, trade one or two of those picks, because you were a couple points out of the playoffs this year. So I hope that they're a little aggressive this offseason, Depot, because the young guys in the core showed that front office that they have the ability to be in the mix. There's guys that are on the ascent up when you look at Ken Johnson, when you look at Adam Fantilli. And so there's a lot of pieces that they have to move around. The goaltending situation will be, I know, the headliner for a lot of hockey fans, a lot of Jacket fans. So that'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. But very encouraging stuff from the team this past year. Coach Dean Evans and his staff, I thought, did a tremendous job with what they had to work with all the emotion swirling around this season as well. But a couple first-round picks, Depot, I want them to be aggressive in free agency, maybe trade one of those picks, and let's get this thing rocking and rolling and be a team that really is in the mix next year.
Yeah, I can't say, enough about the job that Don Waddell came and did. Coming in, getting everybody out of town who weren't supposed to be here, getting everybody in town, dealing with the deaths of two major, a major player and his family member, and you talk about like what does all that stuff mean with all that change, and then you add adversity into it. Well, you have a group that's playing better hockey, and you have a group that's closer, and now you got two first round draft picks going into that next year. One might go as far as to say is, there's no wins in sports unless you win a championship, but last year was a step in the right direction, multiple steps in the right direction. So I'm excited about this 2025 season.
I am
for
too.
Sure.
I am too as well. So yesterday, Depot, we found out that up there in Ann Arbor, that team up north made a decision on their own, an in-house decision, and they said, you know what? We're going to try to get ahead of the NCAA and whatever punishment is coming from them. We don't know when that's going to happen. I'm hoping that some type of clarity is provided for all of us prior to the season kicking off. But Sharon Moore, Michigan, make a decision for him to be suspended for 2 games. The games he will miss will be Central Michigan and Nebraska. So those are games 3 and 4 for the Wolverines. He will not miss the first 2 games. The second game that he will coach in is the game against Oklahoma, his alma mater, which is just funny in itself because it's like, well, if you really want to show the NCAA you're serious about punishing yourself, remove yourself from your second biggest game of the year outside of Ohio State, that being Oklahoma. So I thought that was laughable. But this whole Connor Stallions thing, you as a former player that played within this rivalry, just talk about your perspective on that, your thought on how they went about it, and I guess now what they're doing with trying to soften the blow coming from the NCAA.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a long time, the rhetoric around the story from the Michigan side was, well, this, everybody's doing it. Blah, blah, blah. Ohio State's doing it. We'll do it too. And then also there's this NCAA rules and this bureaucracy that can be debatable in a courtroom, right? And there's this ideas on stance of, hey, I believe it's okay, or even if we did it, we still beat you afterwards. Yeah. All of that stuff can be talked about and debated, and I think the NCAA is going to figure it out. And I think Sharon Moore doing these 2 games suspension is trying to get ahead of that. But then there's the honor code with competition. And the thing I believe, man, is the game, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, whatever thing you decide to dedicate yourself to, it lives, it breathes, it watches you when you sleep. It watches you when no one's looking. It knows the work you put in. It knows what you didn't put in. It knows the edges you're trying to, skirt around. And the game always will humble you. It's the girl that you love that doesn't really love you, and she's going to double check and triple check everything you got going just so you even have a chance with her. And you get a chance with her, you might fall. And you might not even, make it to the next date. So the game is coming to catch them is my thing. Is like, I just believe it's like ball don't lie. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, that's how I truly feel about this Michigan situation is the ball don't lie, man. And it's going to come out, bro.
I use the word disrespectful.
Yep.
The way that they went about it.
Yes, it was very disrespectful. And there's something there because Harbaugh did this for 2 years in a row. And now the next coach is doing it. So if there's smoke, there's fire.
There's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of fire there. You had Sharon Moore, who was a part of this story where he's deleting a bunch of his text messages that were going over to Connor Stallions. Why are you doing that if you have nothing to hide? And then it was just all the video evidence that we had, right, of Stallions being on the sideline next to the coordinator and head coach and him having the trust from the staff to relay that information to his players.
Listen.
And have those guys in live time have that information and know where to go. Talk real quick from a player's perspective, because we will never know what that's like. When you get information like that, it's very valuable. What type of advantage is that for a player to know what's coming and where to be before the snap?
I mean, it can only equate to like when you're on scout team and the defense knows what plays they're preparing for when they're facing a team. And if the scout team is cheating, right? If the defensive player is cheating, like, hey, like when you're in 2x2, I know they're doing this rub concept or they're doing this high-low concept or this 2-in breaking route. So it's only going to be one of those 4 things. So if you're like in practice putting on good film and you're jumping the routes, it's like, yeah, bro, you know what the cards are. Like, you saw him in the team meeting.
You got the answers to the test.
You just saw him in the defensive meeting before we came out here. Like, bro, you're not killing it today. So, absolutely, Maddie. Like, if you know that a screen is coming on, 3rd and short, like, and you don't rush the quarterback, I think I remember that was this is the play with Aiden Hutchinson. And this is the year that they were using the signs. This is not even the Adam King clips. This is, we're up there. C.J. Stroud, and they call a screen, and he's waving screen like they're putting it in front of it. Yeah. Absolutely, that's an advantage if you know a screen is coming.
Helps you get there quicker.
Because you're not even going to go anywhere. You're just going to stay home.
You're going to stay home. You're going to stay home. So, yes, now we just wait to see what the NCAA does with this. I'm in favor of eliminating their potential to play in the postseason.
But I do want to say, I wish Dave Chappelle's show was still around, because I would love to see a skit on like how everybody in Michigan is like not acting like this is real.
Acting like it's nothing.
But it's really real.
It's very real. Let them tell it. Made no impact whatsoever on their players' ability to make plays, but we shall see. Coming up, Jim Knowles. He spoke to ESPN about his decision to leave Ohio State for Penn State. We'll share with you what he had to say next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes. This week, we salute U.S. Navy veteran Ronald Jordan. For over 25 years, Ronald has served our country and community, flying critical missions, protecting top officials, and keeping our streets safe as a Springfield police officer and homicide detective. With retirement around the corner, he's looking forward to traveling with his wife. Thank you, Ronald, for a lifetime of service.
You know that thing you've always been too scared to go for? It seems like you'll never have the guts. Then a cancer diagnosis. And doing that thing becomes way less scary. I would know. I've always wanted a black belt. And today, the only thing standing in my way is a few wooden boards. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 years since I beat cancer at Ohio Health. Bring it on. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, you're the Carfax guy.
The Carfax from Carfax.
Wow.
And you, sir, work at Tire Discounters.
I sure do.
The Carfax top-rated service center.
Oh, right. You know, a lot of that's because of our services. But people think we're just about tires.
Maybe it's your name.
Yeah.
Tire Discounters. And your jingle.
Oh, you like it?
I think it needs something.
Yeah? Like what?
Hit it. Plus brakes, oil changes, shocks, and struts, and more. Now that speaks to me.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Bishop and Friends.
I cannot tell if you just described certain parts of our town or the Everglades. I don't know where people are walking around with snakes around their neck saying, "You want to pet my snake?"
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another soggy, kind of yucky day for us ahead. Good day to be indoors reading a book as our afternoon highs will struggle to get into the upper 50s to low 60s and the rain continues. For tonight, we will see eventually overnight the rain taper off, lows down into the 50s, but Wednesday is my pick of the week as highs get into the low 70s with mostly to partly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
35 Buckeyes to the Wolf run 33. Snap to Pryor. Blitz coming. Pryor avoids it by running to the right side. Throws on the run upfield. Caught by Posey. 20, 15, 10, 5. Dives and gets in the end zone. Touchdown, DeVere Posey. Not to be denied that time, a 33-yard pass, catch, and run.
Welcome back in, Rothman and Ice. Former Buckeye wide receiver DeVere Posey in the house. That was 2010.
Yeah, that was versus Michigan under route.
Yes, it was. And you were led the team in catches, led the team in yards, 5 for 82 and a touchdown over at the Shoe, November 27, 2010. Good stuff out of you, man.
Man.
You just got it done, you know?
Got it done, man.
You and Dane, you know, my guys.
Look, me and Dane were like that nice after-school snack. I don't know what your after-school snack was.
Usually like a PB&J.
PB&J. Can't go wrong.
PB&J.
Mine was that frozen burrito.
Okay.
Sprinkle some shredded cheese and some sour cream.
I see the vision.
So it's just a hearty meal, man. We're going to fill you up. We're not going to – it's not a 5-star meal like a –
like a Jeff Ruby's,
or like a like a Marvin Harrison. It's not a Marvin Harrison, Jerry's all right, Smith, but it's a good meal, man. It's a meal that'll get you a Big Ten championship.
We got to put some more.
That's about all it.
You got to put some more respect on your own name. You and Dan's name, man. No, that's good to have you in, folks. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk to Tom Luginbill, ESPN. He covers college football recruiting, does a great job of that. Speaking of ESPN, one of the more eye-opening moves around the college football world that happened this offseason was, Depot, when we found out that Jim Knowles was leaving Ohio State and going over to Penn State to be the new defensive coordinator for James Franklin. Heather Dinich from ESPN, she sat down with Jim Knowles. Speaking of Heather Dinich, we will have her on the program tomorrow to talk about her sit-down with Jim Knowles and everything else happening around the sport. But he laid out why he wasn't at the national championship celebration and also talked about the process of getting a new deal. So I'll read a couple snippets from the article. It says, Knowles in a recent interview in his new office was candid about why he left Ohio State and told ESPN it boiled down to the timing of Ohio State's contract extension offer. He was hoping to get a deal done before the Buckeyes went to the national championship game. He had Ohio State offered him one before they faced Notre Dame. Knowles said he would, quote, would have not explored or considered other options. Here's Knowles. I did not want to put anyone, including myself, in a position to have a deal with it immediately following the national championship game, and that's the way it happened. Here's another quote from Knowles. Quote, season's over. Everything's coming to a head again quickly. Ohio State hasn't come forward with a deal, and it's like, okay, if I'm going to act on this or at least explore it, I have got to make a call. And so he made a call over to Penn State. Why he wasn't at the national championship celebration. Here's Jim Knowles. I was asked not to go to the parade, and I respect that. I'm not trying to be a secretive guy. Here's the offer. There were a couple others that were every bit as much money, and then there was Ohio State's offer, which was still great money, but not as much, so then you have to sit with that. What I find interesting about this, or unfortunate about this, is to me, Jim Knowles was asking for a contract extension, new money, whatever exactly that was, Depot, at the wrong time. You can't be the defensive coordinator for a team that's focusing on the ultimate prize, playing in the biggest game, and worrying about yourself when the preparation and focus should be all about Notre Dame. So that, to me, does not make Jim Knowles look good at all. ESPN reached out to Ryan Day, Ross Bjork, both the AD and the head coach over at Ohio State. Those guys declined to speak about this specific situation. But this, to me, makes Jim Knowles look a little selfish because you've been in those locker rooms. You've been around, obviously, coaches and players and everybody having different agendas. But I have to imagine when it comes down to galvanizing and coming together, especially for that game, like, to me, that's all that should matter. And Jim Knowles, I think, lost the plot there a little bit based off of what's been said and quoted in this article.
Maddie, that was nice of you to say it was, around the national championship. But, like I know, this thing and him wanting to feel as if he was locked in. I don't know. We were doing the Buckeye show during the season. You remember that random Iowa week where C.J. Hicks was at stand-up linebacker and we only had 3 D linemen on the field? I'm like, it's third down and we don't see JTT or Jack Sawyer. They're rotating on the right side to the boundary. They're not to the field. This seems odd. This seems like ideologies are clashing maybe. And maybe the pursuit of a contract extension was that maybe one can go as far to say, hey, those issues and disagreements weren't resolved, but whoever side won that argument, that side, the defense started playing better. So whatever decision we made from that C.J. Hicks weird game, that was weird. We covered this team all year. Mm-hmm. We know these guys. We remember when they got recruited here. Remember when they got their starting jobs. We know what positions people play. C.J. Hicks being as a stand-up linebacker outside was different. And it didn't happen the next week. And the defense started playing better. And Jack Sawyer played like a pissed-off man from that point. And there was no questions. We didn't talk about it no more on our show sheets as if this defense can create a rush. Mm-hmm. And so I think maybe whatever happened that day, I don't know, or whatever happened that week, I don't know. I'm not at the Woody. I don't want people to think I have, I don't have any insider information. I just observed because I watch football, and it's like if he was seeking a deal before that, maybe that ideology got ran with. And that ideology of what happened that day started to show success, and he felt fear that, oh, my ideologies aren't leading this team to a natty. Can you guys lock me in? I don't know. Is that? I mean, that's what I'm trying to decode in the words.
That could be the case.
You know what I mean?
That could be the case. There was stuff out there that maybe Knowles and some members of the defensive staff were not seeing eye to eye. I'm just going off the film. I don't know anything. And you have every right to do that because you know what it's like to be out there. You know what it takes. There's stuff out there that maybe after that first Oregon game, that Coach Day was more involved with the defense, which he has every right to do.
That's his job.
He runs the show over there.
On both sides.
He runs the show. And if that was a situation to where that ruffled Jim Knowles' feathers, to me, your ego's too big at that point.
And now you want a contract to make you feel respected.
When you were already getting paid nice dollars over there.
Now, was his contract expiring, or are we just asking for a random extension?
That's the gray area in all of this. To me, it's just the timing of that. If this is 100% accurate, and I'm just going to take it for what it is at the moment, if he's coming to the table the days and weeks before they play Notre Dame for the national championship, that's wrong. To me, that's just dead wrong.
And I think that's where you're right. Like you highlighted, like what the situation was. It was a lot of gray area. And I think after hearing this article, I think Jim acted in a mindset that if it was black and white, and Jim, this conversation had gray area. There was things that needed to be discussed, but you felt disrespected. You didn't get an offer, let alone like maybe Ryan Day was trying to like book the date to the daggone White House. Like he probably was busy after the Natty.
There's a lot going on.
You know what I mean? Like, I think he was on a Today Show.
He was everywhere.
He's on Good Morning America. We're probably not thinking about your extension. We'll get to that, bro. Let's have the parade first.
Let's celebrate.
Let's celebrate
together. And that's why I can't blame if Jim Knowles is accurate and he heard from Coach Day, Ross Bjork, somebody that we don't want you at the celebration. I can't blame them for doing that, for finding out that maybe he was snooping around, calling teams within the Big Ten, specifically Penn State, maybe some other teams.
Sure.
Like, I can't blame Coach Day for being upset with him.
This article is a admission of guilt to me on I looked at this situation wrong and I jumped, and the first guy I called, it's almost like he got what he wanted in the first call. And it's like, oh, they ain't going to answer me. James Franklin's going to take you really seriously, man. And so he put an offer out there. And so it looks like it's justified by taking more money. But I just don't think – I think he'll look back and be like, dang, I didn't debrief that. I mean, I walked away from, like, probably the greatest safety in, since, like, Ed Reed. Like, what am I doing?
My process of getting to this point probably wasn't the cleanest path to do so.
I'm walking away from Caleb Downs and these kids. Like, what am I doing?
Look, he's walking away from that talent, and in his mind, he may say, I'm walking over to $3.1 million a year. Now I'm the highest paid defensive coordinator in the sport. So it was a level up in finances, no doubt. Have to imagine, just my guess, Ohio State's offer was pretty strong as well.
Absolutely.
Based off of what he built over the last few years, which will always go down as a dominant window of time. The last 2 years, that defense was locked in from where they were in year one under Knowles to where they were last year. He did his part along with the players. It just feels like, to me, the way he went about it, maybe some people over there feel like it was a little slimy.
The last big play that happened in the Jim Knowles defense was that bomb that Stetson Bennett threw. After that, there was I'll take the Oregon game, but those are the only big plays. Just those
rock solid.
That's solid defense, man.
Speaking of Penn State, think about the defense and what they did in that goal line stand last year. And now he's that game, that week is going to be crazy, right? When they come in here.
I can't wait to see the show sheet.
The conversations about that game will be a lot of fun. We'll continue our conversation about Big Ten football and college football next with Tom Luginbill from ESPN in 2 minutes. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
All power, zero compromise. Eagle cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
The Peace Lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Forever starts with the perfect diamond. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from The Diamond Cellar, and for over 78 years, our family has helped generations of couples celebrate love with brilliance, quality, and unbeatable prices. At Diamond Cellar, bigger diamonds and better prices are our promise to you. Whether you're popping the question or upgrading your sparkle, trust the experts. Because diamonds, they're our forte. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The perfect ratio of sports talk, dogs, pro wrestling, and gambling advice.
It's science.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, the former Buckeye wide receiver, DeVere Posey in the house today. Going to use the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now. Bring on one of our favorites. Does a tremendous job covering college football over at ESPN. He is Tom Luginbill. Lugs, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, guys. How you doing this week?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for asking.
Right.
So let's start in the Big Ten. Let's start up in Ann Arbor. Your thoughts on Michigan and them trying to, it seems like, Tom, get out in front of the NCAA and say, hey, you know what? We're handling some of our business in the form of punishments over here. Take it easy on us. Take it a little easy on us. What are your thoughts on Michigan and Sherrone Moore missing a couple games and how they're going about it right now?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. And, you know, this was a very serious and also very complicated set of infractions because, listen, everybody in football steals signals, right? It's part of the game, and there's a big portion of that that's actually not illegal. But when you take it to the level that they took it to, I just don't see how there's any way that occurs and not everybody knows about it. Right. And so I think there's plenty of blame to go around here. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Sherrone Moore is the head football coach, and he's responsible and accountable for the actions of his program. And as an assistant coach under Jim Harbaugh, involved in that as well. And so, you know, when you look at, you know, the NCAA or NCAA investigations, you know, there's always some killer words. If you see like these words, failure to monitor and lack of institutional control. Mm-hmm. When you see those phrases in NCAA investigation, that generally means bad news.
Oh,
and so to get out in front of it, try to self-impose, try to send the message that, hey, we're on the straight and narrow here. We're addressing this internally. It's been my experience watching these things unfold that plays a role in it, but generally somebody comes back and says, oh, no. There's a lot more going on here. And there's going to have to be more severe sanctions or penalties for this. And I don't think we know the end game yet, but it's a start because it starts with the head man who's accountable for everything. And could it cost them a game or two? I don't know. I think coaching staffs now are so evolved and dialed in and detailed in their game-to-day, game-in, game-out management that it looks like a penalty on the surface. But unless it's something that affects your talent, your roster, I don't know if doing that actually is a real, true, severe penalty because I think you can work around that and still be successful. Now, you start taking away scholarships, you start limiting the amount of coaches that can go on the road in recruiting. Those are things that will negatively affect any program.
Absolutely. Tom, first off, how you doing, man? And I follow you, you know, and we go back to when you were, you know, kickstarting things with ESPN and it's like, you know, it leads to my question, the I Am Alive brothers. And I've been following you, like, you know, breaking down this whole saga and just this mindset of, like, you know, I call it the portal paradigm, you know, you maybe call it the portal paradox, whatever it is. It's just these kids are making these poor business relationships, interpersonal decisions, and it's just going to affect them, you know, as they are evaluated for the pros. The I Am Alive brothers, like, what does their story signify about what's wrong with the portal? And then, like, what about their story is right? You know, like, is there personal power in this, or is this the schools taking back some power? You know, I just wanted to get into that with you a bit there.
Well, listen, and I certainly remember you, DeVere. It's always fun for me to watch guys develop and come through from high school to college to the draft to the NFL. And I was doing some studio shows last week for the ACC network, and I'm sitting next on the desk to E.J. Manuel. God, I'm really getting old when guys I was evaluating or we had in the Under Armour game are now working in the field that I'm working at. I mean, holy smokes. But listen, I think the good is that there are opportunities for players now that didn't used to exist. And in this particular window, There are no rules. There's no governance. There's no policing. There are no guidelines. And it's an absolute free-for-all. So I get the mentality of get everything I can get while I can get it. Because at some point, as we all know, this is unsustainable.
Yeah.
There is going to come a time where the players aren't going to own all of this power, and they're not going to get everything they want. And I'm a big proponent of players being able to earn.
Yeah.
However, the term earn is the critical word in that phrase, because what we're doing now is not earning based off of name, image, and likeness. This is pay for play. And we are providing compensation, sometimes to the tune of astronomical numbers.
Yeah.
That is not real life. This isn't, you talk about the Leava brothers. Let's just take Nico, for example. And we saw this coming back in high school, because when he was a sophomore and a junior, and the people around him, and you reference this, your support structure, whether it's an agent, whether it's a representative, whether it's your parent, whoever it is, they're as big a part of the problem right now because they're living in an unrealistic world. And so when you're going through the entire recruiting process and all you're focusing on is who can give me the most money, then how are you ever expected to be the leader that you should be, because you have no care and investment in the program? It's been all about money. And then you go out and you play, you redshirt, which I thought was a great path for Nico. Then you become the guy, and you have, quite frankly, a very mediocre redshirt freshman season. Certainly one that probably wasn't worthy of what he was getting paid, but without question one that wasn't worthy of renegotiating for a raise. I mean, where are you basing this on? And so you've got bad people giving bad advice, and then we wonder why the young people now are making poor decisions. And, the day that happened, I tweeted out, I said, there's a part of me that's really glad this is occurring, because it needs to happen. And I hope it happens as a deterrent to many people to think long and hard before they start screwing with the market. Because now he goes out on the market, and number one, his value drops significantly. He now has a lot of red flags popping up that people are going to start asking about and investigating. That's not good either. And he left a roster with good to great players around him to go to a bottom third team with complete rebuild. And now he's going to have to be better than he ever was, because he's not going to have as much help around him. And was that the best thing for him? Probably not. Time will tell. But I think it's a warning to everybody out there. You got to be very careful with how you navigate this space. Now, his brother, in my opinion, and I give Hunter Yurachek, the AD at Arkansas, a lot of credit here. I agree with him. They should go after that young man and recoup that money.
Absolutely.
And again, that's the problem. This is pay for play. But what it really is, it's pay for not playing. And because contracts really aren't enforceable, there's no buyout clause in them, then we're allowing these guys to take money and walk away without having to be accountable in any way, shape, or form. That's not the real world. And I hear all of these people talking about, oh, well, the coaches can leave and the coaches can do what they want. Couple of things on that. Number one, coaches have buyouts. They are giving something up if they leave. They have to return money. They have to pay out money. Okay, that's a reality. That is a fact. And also, and again, I'm all for guys earning money. But why are we comparing 19-year-old kids to maybe a 45, 50, 55-year-old person who has an undergraduate degree, likely a master's degree, has been putting food on his table, and has been working in the professional world for a couple of decades? That would be like comparing the entry-level hiree right out of college and trying to say, well, I want to be treated like the CEO.
Well, that's what they're saying, though, Tom.
Yeah, it's exactly what they're saying. And that's not reality. And since we all know, and I wish everybody would start doing the math on this, 99.6% of all players that play college football will not play a down in the National Football League. So all of this money that's being thrown around and everything that these kids are getting right now, I hope they're also getting advice to say, hey, listen, we need to start thinking about if. What if you don't get drafted? What if you don't play professional football? Have you invested that money? Have you saved for a rainy day? Have you tried to address, okay, what's going to happen if I don't play professional football and maybe I haven't earned my degree? All right, and now I got to go out in the real world and fight with college graduates for their entry-level job at $45,000 a year. And now you're going to say, well, that's a significant pay cut. Well, are you prepared for that? Because for the vast majority of these players, that's going to be their reality in 1, 2, 3, 5 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, no doubt. It's great stuff right there. Great breakdown of what's happening around the sport. Tom, before we let you go, we have to get your thoughts on the Ohio State quarterback room and where that stands at the moment. Tavian St. Clair just gets here. Julian Sand, Lincoln Keenholz, those guys have been around for a little bit of time, but it's inexperienced no matter who it is week 1 against Texas. Your thoughts on that room under Coach Day's watch right now?
Well, it is. It's inexperienced, but it's also talented. And when you play young players, which they're going to be forced to do, you're going to have to expect that there are going to be some hiccups. There are going to be some bumps in the road. And I think the number one thing that you do with a young quarterback room is you're putting them through the paces and they're competing and they're battling, and then you decide, hey, I think this guy's going to be our guy. You have to now build your offense around that player's skill set. You may build some things for Julian Saling that you wouldn't do with Will Howard. You may do some things with Tavian St. Clair that you would not do with Julian Sayin. And so you know they're going to have good personnel around them. And I think as a young player, you got to do two things. Everybody talks about managing the game, but you've also got to manage your emotions and the highs and the lows that come with the position. When you're inexperienced, oftentimes you can be immature as well. And you've got to be able to manage the offense. And sometimes it's something as simple as, hey, you don't have to win the game for us, but don't lose it. Yeah. And so I think there's a ton of talent. It's untested. I loved Julian Sayin coming out. Listen, he's not going to look like much walking down the block, but when the bright lights come on, that kid plays. And he's had a proven track record of that. And then, Tavian's so talented that, you just wonder how quickly will he make the jump? How quickly will he get acclimated? Because as we all know at that position, it's as much, if not more, about the neck up than it is about the physical attributes that God gave you. So time will tell. And like I said, expect some hiccups, expect a couple of potholes in the road, because that's the nature of playing with young quarterbacks.
No doubt. He's one of the best at covering the sport. He's Tom Luginbill from ESPN. Tom, as always, we really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the spring and the summer, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon. Thank you.
Will do. Great to be with you guys. Take care.
Have a good one, Tom.
Tom is on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Coming up next, Cavs up against it. Game 2 tonight up in the land. Got a few guys that are questionable for tonight's game outside of Darius Garland. We'll talk about that and let you know who those guys are next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle-of-the-night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time, with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Guys, what's up? It's Matty Ice, and I'm here with Wendy's. And if you're looking for your next sandwich love, check out the Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich. This sandwich really has me feeling the heat, and it's packed with bold Cajun flavors that add that perfect little kick. Plus, it's topped with crispy onions that give it a satisfying crunch in every single bite. And did I mention this is all on top of Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich? So if you love that, you have to get your hands on this Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich before it's gone. For that little extra kick, it's got to be Wendy's. Open until midnight or later.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
What?
All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Bands are us when dreams sunk in. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams sunk in. Bands are us.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
At the Home Depot, we know Mother's Day is a big deal. So what are you working on for Mom this year? With a little help from the Home Depot, you can help create a space just for her. We have a wide variety of patio sets and outdoor furniture that will make the perfect gift for Mom. Just add a few hanging baskets for a pop of color and texture for the perfect finishing touch. Shop outdoor furniture, flowers, gifts, and more for Mother's Day. In-store and online at the Home Depot.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVere Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver in the house today. Cavs game 2, Depot. They're looking to get off the mat. Real quick, last night's games, I don't know how much you caught of the two games that happened last night. Game 1 in Boston was off the chain. Knicks crawl out of a crazy hole to come back and get it done 108-105. And then in the other game between the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder, you had Aaron Gordon ice the game with a three-pointer from the left wing, and that was nuts. I mean,
this is the second game winner in the playoffs.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And they have that championship DNA. They really do. And so you look at the core, right? Jokic and Gordon and Murray and MPJ. They've been there. They've been at the top of the mountain. They haven't felt like a championship team this year, but Jokic, 42 points, 22 rebounds, 6 assists. He's just an absolute machine. But those games were highly entertaining last night. Hopefully for the Cavs, it will be more of a positive situation coming in here tomorrow, because in game 1, just the offense went left, shot a season low from 3. And now, Depot, you wake up today and you're worried about who's actually going to be playing for the Cavs, because Darius Garland has missed the last few games with that toe injury. And then you've got DeAndre Hunter, who is dealing with a dislocated thumb. And Evan Mobley's got a left ankle sprain. And Chris Fedor, who covers the Cavs up there for Cleveland.com, tweeted out a picture just moments ago. And it's a shot of the shoot-around basket on one end of the indoor facility up there. And he says that's usually where Evan Mobley and Darius Garland get their work in, but they are not out there right now. So that doesn't mean that they're not playing tonight. I don't think it's the greatest sign that they're not out there doing anything right now, just hours before the game. But no doubt, Cavs have Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, still some good pieces to work with. But the beauty of this roster that they put together was the depth that they had. And if that gets stripped away, then that's going to be a tough uphill climb for them if one of the three, maybe all three of Hunter, Garland, and Mobley don't play tonight against Indy.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Indy and the Cavs, they are a very similar team. Now, Indy plays at a very high pace, but Indy's healthy and they're battle tested, and they play with a, Reggie Miller type of I get those vibes with Tyrese Halliburton. It's just they have an awkward style, and it's just, and these fights are about, these series are about fighting styles. And the Pacers' fighting style, I think, in the pace that they're playing at, it gives them an advantage over the Cavs. The Cavs need to be at full strength, and they need to be healthy. Garland has to be out there to push that pace to be able to just make Tyrese Halliburton slow down on offense because he has to guard somebody.
Make him work. Yes.
Make him work on defense. Run him through screens. Let his day be long. And you look back, and that's what the Celtics kind of put them through, is just he had long nights when in that Celtics series from 2024, and the Cavs are going to have to do that. But you need Garland. You need a healthy Mobley to be out there to battle down and wear down Turner. So, man,
if you're a Cavs fan,
it's a tough draw for the Cavs.
It is, no doubt. Even if they were healthy, I figured this would be a bit of a fight. Just because Indiana, you look at what they did last year. They made a very deep run in the playoffs a year ago. So they're not afraid of this moment. If you're a Cavs fan, you're asking the basketball guys, or you're telling the basketball guys, not like this. Not like this after the season we had. Not now, right? Just the injury bug popping up now is absolute worst case scenario. I mean, this team ran through the regular season. North of 60 wins, locked up the 1 seed. Their offense has been one of the best in the league. Kenny Atkinson, and credit to Kenny Atkinson, he got named Coach of the Year last night. Well deserving for what he was able to do. They have a fun style of play, and he has this offensive system rocking and rolling. So just hopefully these guys will play in time. But as you know, Depot, when you're dealing with injuries, even if you do have availability, sometimes you're not your best self, and so you don't know what you're getting, but it's better to have those guys than not. I wanted to play this clip for you because this is Brian Windhorst. He was up doing some radio on 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland, and here's what he had to say about the in-house feel from Cleveland side of things when it comes to specifically dealing with the Indiana Pacers.
The Cavs quietly were concerned about the Pacers for the last month or so. As the Pacers were, that's a tough matchup for them. As the Pacers were thriving at the end of the season, moving, because there was a race for 4, 5, 6 in the East, and then the Pacers went 14-4 down the stretch and took it. The Cavs were sort of giving them side eye. That's not going to be easy. And now Darius Garland is banged up, so that's interesting to me.
To your point, styles make fights, and in-house, they know they're being real. Like, they know how good they are, but there's always that one team or that one guy. If you're in an individual sport, you're like, man, they just have our number, and that may be the case with the Pacers and the Cavs.
Well, first off, though, all season, the media doesn't do a good job about talking about how good the Pacers are. Even this season, Tyrese Halliburton was ranked the most overrated player in the league by his peers.
By the players, yes.
By his peers. So they have this slight, and they're like, bro, we just went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we had a good run the year before when we first got Halliburton from the Kings. So and Siakam, now we are really – they're one of the best teams in the East, and they have been for the last 3 years. As Boston knows. Yeah. Boston knows. And so us as Cavs fans are people who are in the Cavs, the Cavs community on the Cavs boat is just, hey, you might think that this is an easy draw, but everybody in the East knows, don't believe what the media is saying. This team is for real.
Got to get this one tonight. This is a must-have. You cannot go over to Indy down 0-2.
That's why I think they weren't out there, because those guys are playing today. They're playing. They know that.
You think they're in the medical?
They're gonna be on a pitch count.
They're doing everything they can to get out there.
Garland will be out of the rotation probably before under 9 minutes. He'll be out.
Maybe shave some minutes down a little bit, but the availability will be there. Yeah, I also don't think the Cavs are going to shoot as badly as they did in Game 1.
Nope.
They're not shooting, I believe, 23% from 3 again. That was a season low for them. I don't think that's going to happen. Fellas, if you're feeling low, your energy is low, if you've been waiting to treat your low T or your ED, or maybe you had experience with a clinic that just did not take care of you the way you should be taken care of, get on over to the Columbus Men's Clinic, because it's time to move forward with your sex life, your gym goals, and your career. They specialize in seeing guys who think they're out of luck regain hope that they can be successful in the bedroom and beyond. Seriously, go see the team that for 10 years has been #1 in Ohio for men's health. Stop thinking about it and get in there. Call 614-300-7400. Again, that's 614-300-7400, or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com. Coming up, top of the hour, Brownies locking in and making it official with one playmaker. We will talk about that, the impact he could make in Cleveland, and also the AFC North. Looking at this division, which team has the best group of playmakers right now. We'll talk about it after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Oh, hey, the best football team in the country's on the best radio station in the country. Congratulations, Buckeyes. Here's to 100 more years together. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes. This week, we salute U.S. Navy veteran Ronald Jordan. For over 25 years, Ronald has served our country and community, flying critical missions, protecting top officials, and keeping our streets safe as a Springfield police officer and homicide detective. With retirement around the corner, he's looking forward to traveling with his wife. Thank you, Ronald, for a lifetime of service.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall from my friends at Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. 2 years ago, I was actually experiencing hip pain for the first time in my life, and I knew I needed the best. So I chose Orthopedic One for my physical therapy needs. And in a matter of weeks, I was rotating that golf swing better than before, and I was the longest hitter in my group again. So be like me and trust Orthopedic One. Several convenient locations around Central Ohio. To find a physician or location near you, go to www.orthopedic1.com.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. And Rich and his team are ready to get you in a great new Honda this spring. Purchase or lease. He's going to make you feel awesome about your next vehicle and your experience. Grab a hold of this one, a 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Lease it for only $347 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles, and only $19.99 down. He's got rates as low as 2.9%. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Summer is better with True Green, especially at a price this low. For a limited time, get 75% off of your first treatment and enjoy your lawn without overspending. With True Green, you get expert care and a plan tailored to fit your lawn's needs. So it looks like the best while you save big. Let the pros handle the hard work while you enjoy the result. Relax more and keep more money in your pocket. A great lawn has never been this easy or this affordable. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com. Restrictions apply.
Mother's Day is this Sunday. There's still time to show the incredible moms in your life how much you love and appreciate them with a thoughtful gift from Pro Flowers. Ordering takes just a few minutes, and Pro Flowers' large selection of modern arrangements at affordable prices are sure to make you look like a gift-giving pro. So visit proflowers.com/sports or use code SPORTS at checkout for $15 off your Mother's Day order. All Pro Flowers orders are backed by our 7-day freshness guarantee, so you can gift easy with Pro Flowers.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker, fresh off of winning NBA Coach of the Year. Kenny Atkinson and his Cleveland Cavaliers look to even their series with the Indiana Pacers at 1 game apiece. Tip up at Rocket Arena is at 7 tonight. Golden State and Minnesota play game 1 of their Western Conference semifinal at 9:30. Stanley Cup playoffs this evening. Carolina is in Washington at 7. 9:30, Vegas hosts Edmonton. The Cleveland Guardians and Washington Nationals were rained out yesterday, so that means a doubleheader today in the nation's capital. Game 1 gets underway at 3:35. Game 2 scheduled to start at 7:30. The Cincinnati Reds continue their series in Atlanta with the Braves at 7:15. You can hear that one over on ESPN Columbus beginning at 6:45. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, TLC, the former Buckeye wide receiver, DeVere Posey in the house today holding it down for AR. Appreciate your time, folks. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk all things NFL with Mike Tenier from the Too Deep Zone. It's always fun catching up with him. The Brownies, real quick, Depot, they announced some of the rookie jersey numbers for 2025. Mason Graham will wear 94. Quinshon Judkins will wear 10. The tight end Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green will wear 88. Schlesinger, linebacker from UCLA, will wear 49. Dylan Sampson, the running back from Tennessee, will rock 22. Dylan Gabriel grabs number 5. And Shedeur Sanders has number 12 for now. Wide receiver DeAndre Carter, who is on the roster, currently has number 2.
Oh, they gonna cut him.
So we shall see how long he has number 2.
Hey, look, man, he gonna be looking at that number 2 every day in camp. Like, sure, I better I got to score today.
Hold it tight. Hold on tight to that jersey. We'll see what happens. But as you know, Shedeur works with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is his idol. They work together. So
he going to need that Tom Brady magic right now.
Not surprised that he grabbed number 12.
I love it.
Your thoughts on the Browns and what they did in the draft, grabbing both Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders?
So my original thoughts were there's a 7th grader running this team. Being totally honest. It was just like, what's happening? And as you just start, they had a lot of draft capital. And as it shook out, I think this storyline, this draft, it's going to be one of the most interesting preseason stories. You have the mix of Deshaun Watson and Joe Flacco, and then you trade for Kenny Pickett. Okay, that's a decent quarterback room. We'll get a guy will come out of there. It'll probably be Flacco, right? Deshaun he retore his Achilles. He's not playing
surprised if they get anything from him.
He's out this year. He's not playing this year.
Right.
So, but he's in the room and his presence is there. Then you throw in 2 rookies, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. We know what kind of player Dylan Gabriel is. He gets it out quick. Mm-hmm. Shedeur Sanders is the type of player that has the same type of talent as Gabriel, maybe even more talent, but he holds on to the ball. So there has to be a learning curve there. And just that dynamic, that Kirk Cousins, RG3 almost dynamic, that one of these guys has to go. One of these vets, 2 of these vets might have to go. That's an insane dynamic. And then you go back to the Nick Chubb situation and you letting him go, the opportunity that Quinshon has here in Ohio to endear himself with some of the greatest college football fans of all time. And then I'll give it to the Browns on today's radio show. They're the best fans in America. And here's why. Because they're dedicated to nothing. To be dedicated to nothing, you're the best fan in America. So he's going to have that going for him as well. That dynamic is crazy. And then you add a player like Dylan Sampson, who was one of the best running backs in the country, undrafted free agent. We all know about that story, the Arian Foster, Ben Tate dynamic, the undrafted running back versus the drafted running back, and how Quinshawn is going to be pushed, right? Like, I love that. So when you talk about this Brown stuff, and then you talk about Njoku getting hurt, and then they're going to get one of the most athletic tight ends in an Ohio kid from Bowling Green, it's so much to dissect, so much to really think about, that they did so much in the draft that at first my initial thought was it's a 7th grader runner, but it was so many different dynamics added to different positions in the depth chart that each position has a story.
If you remove, just for this conversation right now, what they did at quarterback and
It's
look
still
at
crazy.
What else they did, I really like it.
The Mason Graham, the Michael
really like
Halls,
it.
and the Garrett.
I was in on Travis Hunter as a playmaker for them right now. But you get that extra first-round pick like they got from Jacksonville a year ago, I get it. And now you pair a guy in the middle of that defensive line with one of the best defensive players in the league in Myles Garrett. I see the vision. And you mentioned Mike Hall as well. Mike Hall could be that interior pass rusher. Mason Graham could be that force and run blocker and throw up a brick wall. I get it. Dylan Sampson, Junkins, I think their skill sets pair well together. Sampson's a good pass catcher. We know Quinshawn can do a little bit of everything. And then you mentioned Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green, who led the nation in receiving yards last year.
And he gonna have some man. This training camp is so interesting.
It's
man.
good because you mentioned Njoku and Fannin. You're talking that 2 tight end sets, 12 personnel, throwing those guys out there together. There's optionality within this offense right now. I don't love the wide receiver room though.
It's gonna, but you add Fannin. You know what you get with him. You know who his pro comp is to me. He's Delaney Walker, bro.
Who's a monster.
You don't need another receiver.
He was a monster.
Right?
Yeah, he was a monster. So the quarterback stuff is going to be wacky.
Yep.
How they figure that out in training camp.
Just put that over there.
And the repetition.
It's still crazy over here.
But you talk about those other draft picks. I see the vision of what they're trying to do because they needed offensive help. Another move that they've made, Depot, on the offensive side of the ball is bringing in Deontay Johnson. That deal is now official, and I couldn't wait to see the money in this.
I'm worried about that.
Because, real quick, because I'm with you on where you're going. Just want to throw this out there. Field Yates is reporting, Depot, that Deontay Johnson's 1-year contract with the Browns is for the vet minimum. So it's $1.1 million. It includes
vet minimum's up to 1.1 now.
Good living if you can get it.
That's a lot higher than when I left.
Good living if you can get it.
That's not what I left today.
The deal, however, though, it doesn't include any guaranteed money. So no guaranteed money.
It's a future deal
at all. This is a low risk, potentially high reward deal for the Browns. Just because, look, let's be honest. Deontay Johnson's 27, 28 years old right now. The dude's been a major distraction for a lot of the teams that he's played on.
Bad year last year.
Very bad year, right?
Like character year.
Because you would think in Deontay's mind, okay, I'm moving on from Carolina where he was, I believe, to start the year. And then you have an opportunity to hop on a moving train in Baltimore for a team that was right there in the thick of things all year long.
Did he start there? I thought he got traded during the season because I thought he got traded during the season in Carolina.
He went from Carolina to Baltimore. To Houston.
When he left Pittsburgh, he got traded there, or he got cut and released.
You're saying how he got to Carolina?
Yeah, wasn't that?
I don't remember
year?
exactly how he got to Carolina. Check that out. But he's been so many. That's our point. There's been so many stops. There's been so many stops because
in short span of time,
he can't get out of his own way.
That's what I mean. A short period of time. Like he's there for a couple months. He's having like Roby Anderson's problems right now.
Correct.
Roby cleaned it up
because the talent is pretty doggone good.
It's there.
It's pretty good, right? It's just from the neck up, for whatever reason, we're talking every year of Deontay Johnson not being a good teammate. So if you're Andrew Berry, what you're betting on is 2 things. We're not guaranteeing him hardly any money. And this is a guy now that is in a contract year that isn't even 30 years old yet, that's coming into an offense that has opportunities. Because outside of Jerry Jeudy, I don't know if you're a Browns fan, who you really are confident in to be a consistent pass catcher. We just talked about the tight end room. We like that room. The potential is there with that room with Fannin Jr. and Njoku. But if you're Deontay Johnson, I hope he's looking around and saying, hey, man, if I come in here and ball for a year, there's going to be some decent money for me on the other side. It's just hard for anybody to buy into that because of Carolina, Pittsburgh, Houston, Baltimore, all these stops It's always been him that is the issue. You remember the game against the Philadelphia Eagles last year with the Baltimore Ravens? Harbaugh said, it's your time. It's time to go in the game. He said, no, I'm good because I'm not getting the ball enough. Like, that's what this guy has shown us how he's wired. And so if that's cleaned up, maybe you're on to something. If you are the Browns, it's, again, low risk, high reward for them, potentially.
Nothing like putting you on vet minimum to clean you up, man. I don't know how many more strikes at this you get.
Yeah.
And in a situation like the Browns, where there is opportunity in the slot at wide receiver, I feel like, Elijah Moore really hasn't, taken hold of that position.
He's now moved on to Buffalo.
Yeah. So it's there. You got an opportunity to really endear yourself with this new quarterback you're going to have.
Yeah, 100%. I want to stick with the AFC North and look around this division depot because there's playmakers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
How are they stacking up for us? The playmaking rooms for the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Bengals. We'll get into that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another soggy, kind of yucky day for us ahead. Good day to be indoors reading a book, as our afternoon highs will struggle to get into the upper 50s to low 60s, and the rain continues. For tonight, we will see eventually overnight the rain taper off, lows down into the 50s, but Wednesday is my pick of the week as highs get into the low 70s with mostly to partly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Like trying to snap a picture of Bigfoot. Nobody has ever witnessed Maddie eating a carb. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVere Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver in the house today for AR. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Bottom of the hour, 1:30. We'll talk all things National Football League with Mike Tanier from the Too Deep Zone. But before we get into anything else, let me talk to you about the 9.71 The Race. Join the Fan on Saturday, June 21st in Westerville for the inaugural 971 The Race. Register now at 971therace.com. You can join Common Man, T-Bone, and Tyvis Powell along with Eric Reeser on June 21st for a day of activities, food, live music, and fun. The race includes a 1-mile walk run, a 5K fun run, and if you're really in shape, you can get after the 9.71 kilometer run. We like to think of this as, quote, more fun, less run, but our insurance says we can't give you free beer unless there's fitness involved. So come out and do some moving and then kick it with us on June 21st. We can't take credit for the timing, but June is Men's Health Month, so let's be active together. Come do it with us on Saturday, June 21st. In Westerville. Again, it's the 971therace.com is where you go to register and for more information. You marathon shape? You in marathon shape right now?
Man, no,
I'm not either. TLC's gonna hold it down for our team. He's ready to cook, man. He's been training for a long time, so he's locked in. Jacob's over there doing his thing as well. And by the way, congrats to Jacob. He has been named the new Buckeye Show producer. Jacob's been doing some great things. So make sure you also catch Jacob on Twitter. Jacob, hop on the mic here in a second and let the folks know where they can follow you on Twitter, because you do some good stuff with college basketball, the NBA, and everything else in sports, man. Congrats. Where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, thanks, Maddie. I appreciate it. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a ton of fun. But my Twitter is at RhymeTime05. It's 05.
There you go. RhymeTime05. He's a great follow.
These guys are changing on me, man.
He's moving on up.
CB. Yeah, man, we're graduating.
You guys are. Hey, man, I'm so proud of you dudes, man. I remember these guys' first days around here, and just you talk about work ethic. Rhyme Time, Cole, man.
It's great to see.
Love you guys.
Great
Happy
to see.
for you,
Yeah,
man.
very,
congratulations.
You congratulated me when I got Employee of the Month.
Yes, I did. I didn't?
No,
I did.
No, you did.
I did. I've been seeing the progress. That's what I'm saying.
You didn't text me back when I wish you a happy birthday, but you.
My bad.
It's okay. I didn't get invited to his birthday dinner either. So
no, you just got invited to Thanksgiving,
which is more important, honestly. At the end of the day, I'm great. I'm very thankful for that.
The birthday was a surprise, so I didn't. So I'm out of that. You blame her.
No, I'm not messing with her. I want no smoke with the queen of the house. I'm blaming you.
Yeah, I'm
blaming you. But real quick, TLC, you ready to go for this race? Tell Depot, you've been training for a while, right?
I have been. Now, the rain the past few weeks has really been getting in the way of getting outside.
Yeah, okay.
So that's not good. Now,
so what if it rains on race day?
Then what are we doing? I don't know.
You got to be locked in.
You got to train in it.
Yeah.
We're running in the rain?
Ask Tom Brady. Tom Brady says, hey, Bill, wet these footballs, man. It might be rain this week, so you got to get ready, Cole.
Well, look, there are going to be people watching, so you got to power through no matter what.
Yep.
So I'm going to figure something out. Maybe my AirPods would electrocute me or something, but I'll be out there.
Debo, I was telling them the story yesterday of how Dane was telling us on one of the pregame shows that obviously he's a big-time runner. Yeah. And remember, I asked Dane, I said, Dane, what do you listen to while you're running? And he was like, nothing. I said, no books. He said, no, just the birds chirping.
Yep.
Cars rolling by.
Psycho.
He's built different.
Psycho.
He's built different.
On that, so we're in the Buckeye cruise, and I'm working out or whatever, and I'm down there in the morning, and there's only one other person in me. It's number 2 from Ohio State, and it's like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like,
well, real quick, clarify which number 2, former, current
2,
Caleb Downs, the building, getting it in. Okay,
he's in there at 6 in the morning with no headphones, and I'm like, oh yeah, this kid is a psycho. He's a psycho.
In a good way, though.
In a great way.
Right.
Like,
don't need any other motivation.
He's up at 6, no headphones.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy smokes, yeah, our defense gonna be okay this year.
Listen, he is projected to be a top 10 pick. Yeah. He was as advertised. You got to think about last year, right? You came into the year all off season.
He was better than advertised.
I think you had 2 of them for me. You had Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs.
Better.
Like, you heard all about it. And then you see him, and to your point, it's like
Will was better too. Will was better than advertised too. And the thing about Will is like, I just categorize like this. Like, every week he just gonna do some Kansas State stuff. Like, just hope that it's in the first half. That's it. But after that, he'll just have one mental lapse. But I love, as a player, he self-corrects and auto-corrects so good. That's why I think he's gonna be a good pro.
And he went to a great franchise.
And he has a chance to start this year.
Yeah, he's
going to learn from A-Rod.
Because I think Rodgers is coming too.
Yep.
If he plays, I think it'll be a year. Mm-hmm. And then if you're Will Howard, you may be looking around and saying, okay, like John Cena, my time is now.
He's going to get – but there was a lot of guys that were just better than advertised. And we're going to bring this back to the marathon. Here it is. Colt. You know, it ain't like how you start this weekend, or when it's about how you finish, man.
Weren't you trying to get in on the Chicago Marathon?
No. I got put in the lottery, and I prayed every day.
Got put in the lottery.
My wife put me in the lottery, and I was like,
I hope she put herself in too.
Well, the day was coming up, and I was telling Maddie, I was like, I'm getting nervous because if I get in, I'm gonna be sick.
Because I gotta get to work.
I was just like, I'm not going to start training until I know I'm in. Yeah. But I didn't get in, so no, I'm not in. I'm not training.
Okay. Gotcha. Jacob, are you built for marathons, or are you like me? Were you just like, hey, I'm going to root for everybody from the sun?
I'm right with you.
Okay, there we
go. I will be on the sidelines. I'll pass out the waters if needed.
Yeah. I volunteer at the marathon.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
No, he's how many months away are you from a dad bod?
Yeah, we're in September.
Okay. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
for football season.
We're trying to get into the swing of it though. Like, since we'll be like the 6 to 8, maybe get up at like 6 and get to the gym in the morning, knock it out, so I can avoid that dad bod.
Get up at 6.
Yeah.
You're going to be working at 6 p.m. There's no reason to get up at 6 a.m. Are you kidding me? I don't get up at 6 a.m. and I got to be near 6
so
hours
I can
before
get
you
it done and beat the rush.
Whatever. I don't
Respect the man's grind over there, TLC.
What time are you getting in the gym? Before or after work?
I like to get there after work.
Get off at 3 is pretty good for that.
It is, because it's pretty light at the gym.
And everyone else is showing up at like 5.
Yeah. I can get in and out, hour and a half, 2 hours.
You're in the sauna, people showing up. Yeah, you should be in the sauna doing the post.
I love the sauna.
Yeah. If I don't get it in the morning, it's not getting done.
Really? Okay. But you've been training your whole life in the morning for the most part, right?
I learned in college. In college, like, because you try, like, you go to a hard workout, like, and you're like hearing about it all day. Like, you run into a guy that's like, man, sucks. Oh man, I worked out at 6. But hey, bro, look, when you go over there, good luck. Prepare your mind. And I'm in class, like, nah, I can't. I'm just gonna get over there at 6 tomorrow. I'm just gonna be a 6 guy.
So you're saying Tress? Did they gave you an option?
You had the 6, the 12, and the 4.
Interesting.
And I just like, life's just better when it's done.
Just get the 6 done.
Just get it done.
Yeah, I hear you. I absolutely hear you on that. Hey, real quick, looking around the AFC North, because we were talking about Deontay Johnson getting added to this wide receiver room. When you look at the Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, and the Browns, the playmakers in the AFC North, like if you could take one playmaking core, so the tight end, the running backs, and the wide receivers, which ones would you draft first?
The Bengals.
Okay, you're taking the Bengals. Okay, you're a wide receiver at heart. It's hard to look past the top 2. It is
taking the highest paid wide receiver room in the league.
And you add Gesicki to that, too. Like, Gesicki, people I think kind of slept on, not in Ohio, but around maybe the nation, like how timely Mike Gesicki was with some of his impactful games and touchdowns that he had a year ago. I love that they brought him back. Like, I love that they brought him back. High-flying aerial attack. Chase Brown showed, hey, I can provide enough punch on the ground. You bring back Samaje Perine as a vet. He can catch the rock out of the backfield.
And the emergence of Eovis.
Yeah, Andre's he's a guy that had been talking about for the last couple years.
I mean, he's 6'3" in a slot. Like, he is a Tyler Boyd clone.
It's only so many rocks that can go around, right, with the top two guys in Higgins and Chase. But when your number is called, and because they throw it so much, your number will get called between Andre Yoshivas and Jermaine Burton. Can't wait to see who emerges in that. They drafted Burton, I believe, to be that guy, but Andre's not going to make it easy at all. Like, I think where look, call me biased, I think the Ravens, when their tight ends are baked into that, is pretty doggone strong as well.
That was the only other one.
Because Zay Flowers has emerged as a number one. Go look at how many touchdowns Rashad Bateman caught last year.
Yep, sneaky good.
And then you have, to me, the best tight end duo in the division with Likely and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews went out sad.
Maybe the league.
Maybe the league with the top two, because there was smoke out there that they could trade Mark Andrews because of how good they think Likely is in-house. And so
he's cheaper.
He is cheaper as well. Steelers, I really like what they're doing at wide receiver right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. DK Metcalf.
They're signing bullies.
Big body guys. Explosive playmakers. Because DK Metcalf looks like he was built in a lab.
And they still had a tight end from Georgia they drafted 2 years ago.
That's a freak show as well. Is it Washington, I believe? Who's the guy? TLC's not even listed, but they have Freiermuth as well over there. They just need a consistent quarterback to get them the rock. Browns are behind right now in playmaking juice.
Yep.
They just are. Now, these young guys may come in there, and we may be talking about a different story, because I think the running backs are going to make noise with Quinshawn and Dylan Sampson there. But I think a lot of people would be with you. When you start with Jamar Chase, you start with T. Higgins, and you start with Chase Brown, it's hard to look past that. But I think there's cases to be had.
There's cases.
Because Baltimore can say, hey, we got this Derrick Henry trump card we could put on the table as well. And you add, we're talking all playmakers here, not just the pass catchers. When you add one of the best running backs in the sport to this.
Now you mess me up with that one. Now,
that's what I said.
Well, because Ravens top to bottom, yeah.
They added DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I'll probably go Ravens.
It's close, though. It's close. You're splitting hairs. Cincinnati's issue is defense. Baltimore last year as well. Way too many explosive plays that they give up. If they can both shore those things up, then you're talking about two legit contenders in the AFC North. Can't wait to see what the division looks like, especially if the Steelers add Aaron Rodgers. That could be a lot of fun. Coming up in 2 minutes, Mike Tanier covers the NFL very well for the Two Deep Zone. We'll talk on the AFC North and everything else happening around the league next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's time for the Great Haircut Sale at your local Great Clips salon. Your chance to get a great haircut at an even greater price, just $7.99. And money's not all you'll save at Great Clips. When you use online check-in, you can save time too. So download our app today and hurry in for the $7.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great. For a limited time at participating salons.
The $7.99 Great Haircut Sale runs May 3rd through May 9th.
Visit our Columbus area salons.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks, trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Matty promises he'll continue to do the show even if he wins the lottery. If only we believed him. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. DeVere Posey at the house today for AR. I'm Matty Ice. We're going to light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bring on one of our favorites. Mike Tanier does a tremendous job covering the National Football League over at the 2 Deep Zone, so make sure you check out his work. Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. You know, I can't wait to dip into this new Bill Belichick book.
Oh, my goodness.
Can't wait to read every single page of it. I've heard great things about it.
Just watch out for Jordan Hudson. Just watch out for Jordan Hudson. She may come to get you if you say the wrong thing. Hey, Mike, before we brought you on, we were talking about the AFC North and the playmakers in this division now, post-draft, post-free agency, and all those things. And we were looking at the Browns. They add Deontay Johnson to the mix. To me, Mike, it feels like a low-risk, high-reward type of deal just based off the money that they're sending his way. But now that you've seen what the Browns have done in the draft, you look at the addition now of Deontay Johnson. What are your thoughts on how this offense is coming together up there in Cleveland?
You know, I think they've got a ways to go. If you ask me how the defense was coming together, I'd be like, oh, I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited by Mason Graham coming in, you know, across from Myles Garrett. I think that's a big addition. I think adding Tryon Shoyinka as the other defensive end, that's good work there on defense. I come to offense, and Deontay Johnson, you know, he played for a lot of teams last year. He played for a lot of teams. He's kind of on a redemption tour. You know, it's not really clear what was going on personally with him, but I think there were some outside of football things going on. This is a good move for the Browns in that they sort of need to, like, get the lottery scratchers going a little bit. They need to find these players who they can come in for cheap and have that upside. And Johnson a couple of years ago had that upside. They need, you know, a wide receiver too in Cleveland. I'm still looking at it, and, you know, I'm still wondering who the quarterback's going to be. Of the 15 quarterbacks, I still don't know how running back's going to go with all the new guys they brought in the draft. It looks like the plan is going to be to run the ball a lot and play defense. And, you know, that gets you so far. It only gets you so far, particularly in the AFC North, because you've got some powerhouses in that division that you're not going to beat with running and defense.
Absolutely. I mean, the draft happened, Mike, and, you know, we're digesting that and how the rookies are going to come in, but also free agency happened. And I wanted to get a feel from you on who you thought will be one of the biggest free agency signing impacts, and then what team will feel the most, you know, on things they trade. For me, I would say probably San Francisco. They're going to look like a different team this year. And I'm excited to see how that shakes out and how, you know, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan restart that whole, you know, thing around Brock Purdy.
Yeah, what the 49ers did was interesting. I thought they were just rebuilding and blowing everything up. Mm-hmm. Turns out they were getting rid of, like, injured defenders, guys who it's like, okay, you're in your prime, maybe you're a little past your prime, you're coming off an injury. We need to get cheaper. We need to spend money on Brock Purdy. We need to spend money on offense. So they drafted everybody, and that's interesting. They're going to look very different on defense. You know, I look at teams that did things that were quiet. Like I look at what the Minnesota Vikings did very quietly. They upgraded their offensive line. Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, a couple of guys that they got from the Colts last year. They added Donovan Jackson in the draft. Middle of that offensive line for the Vikings was bad at the end of the year. People were making fun of Darnold, and Darnold did some stuff that didn't get made fun of maybe, but, man, he was getting rushed right up the middle. So when you add guys like that, it doesn't necessarily, like, make big headlines, but that turns around and makes J.J. McCarthy's rookie year or your virtual rookie year easier. You know, it makes Aaron Jones better. It makes, you know, Jefferson and those guys better because the quarterback can get them the ball. So there's a couple of teams where I look at and say, yeah, you did the work in the trenches on defense, on the offensive line, and that's going to make a difference for you in 2025.
We're talking all things National Football League with Mike Tanier from the 2 Deep Zone. Make sure you check out his work if you are an NFL fan. It's really, really good stuff. Mike, I want to ask you about the potential of Aaron Rodgers coming into the AFC North and signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The wide receiver room looks pretty doggone good right now with George Pickens and DK Metcalf. If Aaron Rodgers is added to this roster, how does that change your outlook of what Pittsburgh can be in 2025?
Usually when we look at the Steelers, no matter how good or bad they look, you figure, well, they're going to go 9-8 and win a wild card. That's kind of what the Steelers do, usually because there's holes in the roster elsewhere, even when they're strong. Now I look at the roster, and I still don't see a great offensive line there. I do see those two big-time vertical receivers in Metcalf and George Pickens. If you add what's left of Aaron Rodgers, the Rodgers we saw at the Jets, and you factor in the fact that they're always good on defense, they had Darius Slay to, having T.J. Watt and these other guys, still looks like a 9-8 team. This is not Aaron Rodgers from 2 or 3 years ago. This is a guy who you think is going to, loft a few deep passes, check down a lot, and try to win within structure. Problem with the Steelers is they don't have Aaron Rodgers right now. They have Mason, Rudolph, and Will Howard. And if you go out there with those guys, that's a recipe for just not getting it done on offense. That's a recipe for George Pickens and DK Metcalf screaming, get me the damn ball. And that's where the Steelers could have an uncharacteristic like Steelers season, where if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, I don't know how they're going to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, they have a different mindset, but I know that I was talking to Ryan Shazier about, he believes, hey, we'll build everybody around the quarterback position, and this is a total stark contrast to everybody else's mindset who would give up so much draft capital for a quarterback and so much free agent capital for a quarterback. We'll rather build around him and create and enforce the defense and enforce the playmakers and create more opportunities for a guy. And basically, your job isn't to come in here and win and take over. No, your job is to manage the game. So the Steelers are a little bit different. But I wanted to ask you about the NFC East while we had time. And obviously, the Super Bowl champ is, coming back in there. Is this a division where, Howie to me is the best GM drafting right now. He does a great job, and I think he, quietly had another strong draft. Does this team get dethroned? Does this Debo move? Is what Adam Peters and the Washington Commanders doing, enough to say, hey, we can compete in this division? And, obviously the Cowboys have had woes. Just want to get your thoughts on that.
It definitely feels like a two-team race between the Commanders and Eagles. And the Eagles did lose guys. They had to lose. I mentioned Darius Slay a moment ago and Josh Sweat and some of the other, important players. Brandon Graham retires. Milton Williams goes to the Patriots. They kept their top core players, but they had to lose a lot of guys along the way. You mentioned Debo. Commanders didn't just trade for Debo. They also traded for Laramie Tunsil.
Yep.
So you get a big upgrade at your slot receiver where they didn't really have a big-name slot guy last year. You get sort of a Pro Bowl, maybe fading a little bit, but Pro Bowl caliber left tackle in place of they had some younger guys last year. And, it's easy to overlook what the Commanders did because those were trades. They were not high draft picks. They were not big free agent signings. They were done in February. When you add two Pro Bowlers to a team that is already an NFC Championship team, watch out for them. And I don't think the Eagles are going to be caught by surprise or anything like that if they look at the Commanders and say, this team has improved. They also brought in Lattimore last year at cornerback.
Late.
Late, and he was hurt, and it's they rarely had him healthy. You put three guys like that on that team, you got to watch out for them being a spoiler in the NFC East.
Yesterday, Mike, we stumbled into a conversation about the AFC West because we were reacting to, ESPN did their post-draft free agency power rankings, and they had the Kansas City Chiefs as the number one team in the league right now. And then I brought up the point where they're obviously going to be great. With Mahomes and Reed and that cast of characters, they're going to be really, really good. But maybe life for them within the division will be a little tougher. Now, when you look at where Harbaugh had the Chargers in year one, Bo Nix and Sean Payton in year one threw out a respectable product, and now you pair Pete Carroll with Geno Smith in Las Vegas, and it feels like there's better structure for the Raiders. Just talk about that AFC West division around Kansas City, and maybe do you think some teams have closed the gap on them so far?
I'm not crazy about what the Raiders did. I don't think the Raiders turned themselves into a playoff team. But, yeah, Geno Smith is better than Aiden O'Connell. And Ashton Jeanty at running back is better than anything they had. He's going to be a real pain in the neck. And Max Crosby's still there. So they go from they're just an easy out to a team that's going to be a tough out even if they're in last place. You talk about the Chargers, they're going to be biting your kneecaps everywhere you go. And you can't overlook – they still don't have playmakers for Justin Herbert, but they still have Justin Herbert, and that's a problem. And then the Broncos, they had a weird offseason where I think everybody looked at them and said, well, their defense is good, but they need playmakers. They went out and got all the 49ers defensive players. They went out and got all the kind of injured, banged-up guys and added to the defense, and then they only made little differences on offense. So one thing for the last couple of years, it has been the Chiefs. You can say, well, they're going to win the division. They're going to go 5-1 in the division. That starts things out. The Bills don't have it that easy. The Ravens never have it that easy. The Chiefs do. I don't know if the Chiefs can pencil in 5-1 in the division anymore. Maybe it's 4-2, maybe it's 3-3 as these teams get tougher. What's that do in the AFC? It means that the playoffs might not go through Kansas City. They might go through Buffalo. They might go through Baltimore, someplace else. And that's where the Chiefs may show more of the vulnerabilities that they showed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no doubt. It's really good stuff, Mike. We appreciate you as always. Thanks for hopping on, and have a great Tuesday and the rest of your week, my man. We'll talk soon.
You got it. Take care and enjoy your week.
Thanks. He was Mike Tenier, NFL writer, editor, and founder of the Too Deep Zone. If you're an NFL fan, make sure you check out his work. It's really good stuff. Mike was joining us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coming up next in our Buckeye Bulletin, you will hear from one NFL GM on what it's like to draft Ohio State players. That's right around the corner after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Nashville's hottest band, Old Dominion, is coming to Great American Ballpark on July 10th as part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series. After the Reds take on the Marlins, all fans in attendance are invited to stay and enjoy a set from Old Dominion. Plus, you can upgrade your ticket to a pit field pass for an up-close view of the show. For tickets and more information, visit reds.com/concerts.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, it's Bobby Carpenter. We're taking Morning Juice Digital. Catch me and Tito on the Fan's YouTube channel and the Fan 3 weekday mornings from 6 to 8. Plus, you can watch the show on the free 10TV Plus app each morning at 10 a.m. or stream us on your smart speaker. More talk, fewer commercials, attack and dominate.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Depot, let's knock out a Buckeye Bulletin. DeVere Posey in the house today for AR. You know, sometimes I like to say this, Depot, when it comes to you as yourself being a college football program and being one of the elites, you want to be a good store for the NFL, to have them come shopping at your store, right? You want these GMs, these owners to want to shop at your store and grab some of your players and bring them into the NFL to make their product better. We know Ohio State is one of those programs, right? One of the handful around the sport that are viewed as one of the elites, one of the 1%er programs. And an NFL franchise that's done a lot of shopping at the Ohio State store recently is the Arizona Cardinals. You remember the last few years to where the New Orleans Saints were that team, right? It was Buckeyes all over the place for a long time.
Yep.
I think the Arizona Cardinals are trying to take that crown from the New Orleans Saints because you look up and down.
Who's the all-time leading shopper? You showed me a picture of him today. Steelers.
Oh, they love it. They love it.
Highest grossing shopper right
I
there.
saw the Ohio State football Twitter page, and I think the Steelers as well tweeted out a nice picture of Jack Sawyer in a Steelers uniform, and I looked at you and I said, yeah, that just feels right. He just looks like he looks the part.
People forget, the Steelers drafted Mike Vrabel. Yeah. Like, this goes back. Yeah. So I know what you're talking
just
about.
High-level products coming out of the Woody Hayes facility in the shoe. It's just so many good players like yourself and just years and years of history with this program where teams know what they're going to get. And so the Arizona Cardinals, you look at where they're at right now in the 2023 draft, 6th overall, you draft Paris Johnson Jr. Last year, first round, you draft Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft. And on offense alone, they grabbed Josh Fryer as an offensive lineman, a depth piece there. And then you look at defense right now, Depot.
They signed our offensive line coach.
Yes, they did. Coach Fry. Coach Fry is now over there. And quickly, because whenever his name gets brought up, I will always say this. We got to give that man credit for the coaching job that he did on the way to a national championship. I know the recruiting stuff wasn't as sexy as everybody wanted it to be, but the hand that he was dealt after Josh Simmons went down, and after Seth McLaughlin went down, to get that in order the way that he did, you got to tip your cap to Coach Fry.
Listen, man, he put first-round tackles back at Ohio State, bro. Just
Donovan Jackson.
just stop there. Yeah. He has multiple first-round tackles and offensive linemen, and he has a Remington Award winner. Don't play with Coach Fry's name.
He did a good job.
He did a great job.
He did. He really did. And so now
did a great job.
He's out there in the desert. He gets to coach up Paris Johnson Jr. Which is cool.
I just realized that, Maddie. I just had this epiphany of we were saying for 2 years. It was like a story on our show. We'll be honest. Offensive line is a story. Every week, how's it going to happen? And a Remington Award winner, you put 3 first-round tackles in there. And a guard. Two first-round tackles and a guard.
Think about what Donovan Jackson did. What he had to endure. Guard to tackle. We weren't talking much about his
He had a great coach that
He did. And the Minnesota Vikings said, no, we need Donovan Jackson to bring that versatility up to Minnesota to protect.
Man, you got to get Coach Fry.
Yeah, you have to.
You got to.
You have to.
I'm sorry going down that lane.
That unit It's not the sexiest thing to talk about, but it's so important.
It was just, man.
It's so important.
He was really good. And
so
his
that's
son
what
was a pretty good basketball player, fourth grade basketball player.
Oh, he could hoop too.
He was huge.
Okay, he could hoop. Okay.
We couldn't get him on our team, and he's gone now. He's an Arizona kid now.
Yeah. So you got those guys on offense, Depot, for the Cardinals right now. And then on defense, you look around, and it's Baron Browning right now. Out there, you draft Cody Simon this year in the 4th round. You draft Denzel Burke in the 5th round. So they like to shop at Columbus over at the Woody Hayes facility, and their GM had this to say about drafting Ohio State players.
I think the first thing, Greg, is it starts with is, we're not taking them because they were at Ohio State. We're taking them because the value on our board, and it just so happened that they played at Ohio State, So, but I do think there is value in coming from a winning organization, and guys that are used to winning, have seen what it, played at the highest level, played in games that are really, high stakes and through the playoff run there. So, I know those guys, and then, I think another added benefit is the competition that those guys practice against every day. I mean, we said it when we were in there, like, nobody's had to have a tougher assignment in practice the last 4 years than Denzel Burke, the guys he's had to cover in practice. I mean, holy smokes. But, I think it really wasn't like, oh, man, where's the next Ohio State guy? It's just, hey, that's where they fell on our board, and that's how it worked out.
It's something I've heard you talk about. It's something I've heard other former players talk about, and he just touched on it there. The good on good that you get every day over there, that prep can just really take you to another level, because every time you walk in there, Depot, there's a good chance that the guy that you're going up against can be an NFL talent.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to give you, this just off the top of my dome.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins, Joe Burrow competition. That's what you get at Ohio State. I'm going to show you something else. This is a good one for you. Orlando Pace got beat up by Big Daddy Wilkinson, man. That's the kind of competition I'm talking about. Marshawn Lattimore sat behind, Denzel Burke sat behind Marshawn Lattimore, and Damon Arnett was behind them too. Just keep going.
The list goes on. And you're talking about competition within your own room. Like he was talking about for Denzel Burke.
And across the ball.
There you go.
It's twice.
Because Denzel Burke, you're seeing JSN, you're seeing Olave, you're seeing Marvin Harrison Jr., you're seeing, the list just goes up. Garrett Wilson. Like every day.
And the thing is, it's probably like, you know what? Like, he was probably trying to get lined up with Emeka Ibuka so he ain't have to go against those guys. And that's a first rounder.
Yeah, I know it, man. I know it. Real quick, you like that landing spot for Rebecca in Tampa as a wide receiver?
You know what I love about it? I love that he's the guy now. Like, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Super Bowl winning wide receivers, 10-year guys, will put and pour so much into him, and that he'll be the guy down there for a very long time. And I'm close with Emeka. And you talk about the golf in Tampa, I got to go visit this guy.
Oh, my goodness.
I got to go visit him.
Living well.
Because I know he swings the club good, too.
Everybody says he's elite.
Yeah, he's elite.
Out there on the
I'm super happy that he ended up in Tampa.
It's a great spot for him. And you think about his story, right? Because the year before, he could have been a first-round pick. Then he had those injuries.
Yep.
And so his draft stock maybe took a little bit of hit just because, not that he wasn't a good player, just there wasn't a lot on tape to really solidify what we knew already.
Yeah.
And so you stick with it, you come back for a year, you ball out the way he did, turned himself into a top 20 pick this offseason. And like you were saying, the future down there at Tampa, there's no doubt he's going to have, at a certain point in time, the keys to that wide receiver room. Kind of similar to what happened in Seattle with JSN. Like, you get in the door right away.
With some good vets.
And maybe for a year, it's not going to be as clean as you want it to be as far as being the guy. But I don't think you're going to have to wait long. And I think that could be the case for Emeka. And along the way, while he's doing that, he has a chance to really pick the brain of a Hall of Fame talent in Mike Evans.
And Chris Godwin.
And to see what it takes to be a dog in the league the way that those two guys were.
I love that spot for him.
For Emeka, he gets that. And he gets to hop on a moving train that's been competitive. Like, Tampa's been in the playoffs the last couple years.
I mean, and somebody said, why do you draft Gabriel? Because they didn't get Baker right. Gabriel is a Baker comp. I like Baker's style as a quarterback in the league. It's successful. Like his body type and the way he gets it out quick. Emeka's going to benefit from, Baker's reemergence, right?
And both Gabriel and Baker, Oklahoma guys from the Big 12.
There it is, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Coming up top of the hour, In the deep dive, our guy TLC, he spins the roulette. We will play Chet Roulette after the break. Don't miss it. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The only radio show Ryan Day listens to when we're holding him hostage, making him listen to a radio show. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money britches?
More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices.
Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Want to learn about Pick 4 from the Ohio Lottery? Okay, Pick 4 is a daily draw game where you pick 4 individual numbers between 0 and 9 that can be played straight, where each number must be drawn in an exact order or boxed where they can be drawn in any order. You can win up to $2,500 on a 50-cent bet. Learn more at OhioLottery.com or the Ohio Lottery app. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Want to go back to the radio? Okay.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Are you ready for the NFL season? The schedule release is coming, and we know the best place to get your tickets this year. My friends at Vivid Seats. They're seriously legit, and you earn rewards on every purchase. That's basically free football games. When that schedule hits, don't wait around. For the best selection and all the great deals, head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in your game days now.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. 1 month after winning the NCAA tournament, the Florida Gators have signed men's basketball coach Todd Golden to a 6-year, $40.5 million contract extension that keeps him in Gainesville through the 2030-31 season. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark has been given a 3-year contract extension that runs through 2030. NBA playoffs, the Cleveland Cavaliers look to even up their series with the Indiana Pacers at 7. Golden State and Minnesota play game 1 of their Western Conference semifinal at 9:30. The Cleveland Guardians and Washington Nationals play game 1 of a doubleheader here at 3:35. The Cincinnati Reds continue their series in Atlanta with the Braves at 7:15. You can hear that over on ESPN Columbus. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Take advantage of the BMI FCU Auto Refinance Summer Savings Event. Earn a $400 cash bonus when you bring in your auto loan.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice, the former Buckeye wide receiver DeVere Posey in the house. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk all things Buckeyes with Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. A lot of stuff out there today swirling when it comes to Jim Knowles specifically. He sat down with ESPN to share his side of the story and what happened at the end of the year. Heather Dinich did the piece. We will have Heather Dinich on tomorrow at 1:30 to talk about her sit down with Jim Knowles and everything else around college football. But we'll talk more about that at the bottom of the hour with our guy, Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. Before we get into some chat roulette, let me let you know that starting next Monday, the 12th, we will have a new lineup on the Fan, 6 to 9 a.m. It will be T-Bone and Tyvis Powell. 9 a.m. to noon, it will be Bishop and Friends. Noon to 3 will be us, Rothman and Ice. So the two shows in the middle do not change at all. And then you get to 3 to 6. And we've got some new change coming your way. It will be Common Man and Timmy Hall Monday through Friday now from 3 to 6 p.m. And then 6 to 8 p.m., our guy Brandon Beam will be killing it on the Buckeye Show. And again, all this starts next Monday, the 12th. TLC, it's your time to cook. What do you got today in chat roulette?
All right, you want to spin the wheel?
Let me spin the wheel. Let me get it in. Let's go.
All right, we talked about this yesterday, but I wanted DeVere's take on it because he was actually in a locker room for a profession. We talked about Will Campbell. We learned during the draft who his girlfriend is. It is Garrett Nussmeier's sister. So the left tackle is dating the quarterback's sister. And by the way, I forgot to mention, I was remiss not to mention that there's another LSU tie with this because Mason Taylor, the tight end who got drafted out of LSU to the Jets, his dad, Jason Taylor, was married to Zach Thomas's sister. So that's in the linebacker room is how that happened.
Okay.
So, DeVere, fair or foul, dating your teammate's sister?
Man, that's tough.
You got a slight taste of this because, and this is
Somebody
not
dated my sister.
No.
Okay.
This is not the same thing, but I think I think Watt and Cushing are married to sisters.
Yep.
That's as close as you got. I think
that is very true. They're married to Brian Cushing. Their wives are sisters. JJ Watt and Brian Cushing.
Real quick, how was Brian Cushing as a teammate?
Oh man, one of my favorite teammates.
Okay,
man. Just intense dude, really funny, but like he'll like, you remember Lattimore from the program?
Yeah,
like he acts like that to be funny.
Okay,
but he's really a good, smart, intelligent dude. But no, I mean, Cole, I think in this Will Campbell case, this is a rare case. Okay, if you're protecting me on the field, I don't have any doubts that you won't protect my sister. So this one is okay, but for me, I might be indifferent.
We didn't mention that yesterday. That is a good point.
That is a very good point. So you're saying one of your teammates comes to you and says, Depot.
I'm Nussmeier. Yeah.
Hey, your sister's a very attractive lady.
And your Will, yeah.
I think very highly of her. How would you feel about me taking her?
Man, I'm offering my sister. Like, hey, bro, you want to
offering?
You want to talk to my sister, man?
You might get some Olay blocks if you say
You're the number one left tackle on the draft board, and you're my left tackle. Absolutely, you can talk to my sister.
What about a wide receiver or running back or tight end? This has to be an offensive lineman?
Yeah, nah. Those are terrible guys.
Okay.
What if a corner lining up across you in practice?
Not him either. It's the offense. Like, offense linemen are good guys, man. I mean, like, his job is to protect me. Yeah, you fit the profile, but it's all about KYP. Cole, you got to know your personnel. Not a wide receiver. You guys seen that video for the from the Vikings when they were all asking, like, who
Diggs.
wouldn't? Yeah, and it was Diggs.
Yeah,
like, that's how I feel.
Stay away from Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but we're in LA.
Is John Morant a bad influence on DeVere's son?
Okay, so the reason why TLC is asking this is because yesterday, Cole says to me, I asked Cole, I said, how was your weekend? And he was saying, like, one of the things that I saw this weekend was on DeVere's Instagram.
Yeah.
He had a video of your son knocking down a three-pointer, I believe, and doing the John Morant grenade celebration.
Didn't know what that was.
And so
he bit the pin.
Yeah.
He launched the grenade, and then he covered his ears running down the court.
So he does the John Morant. And I asked you today when you came in, I said, I heard about this. I want to see it.
Yeah.
By the way, your son's a hooper. And listen, let me be his agent now because it's going to be
good, man.
We got a high ceiling with him.
Yep.
How did you feel? Did you know when he did it what he was doing? Because I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. But when you saw him do that in person.
Yep. I didn't know what it was. And I was so confused because I'm like, this kid, I can't get this kid to watch basketball. So how did he even see it? Like, he don't watch film. So I know, like, I'm getting to that point. But maybe it's like, how did you? Social media.
TikTok. Instagram had to be.
I was confused. I was like, I haven't seen you watch a job basketball game this season. How do you know how he celebrates? So it's what's wrong with youth sports. Don't get me going down that.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
Seattle, we got a deal.
You know what that's from? Play it again for him real quick, TLC.
Hey, Seattle, we got a deal.
That right there is one of the top flexes of all time from any athlete ever. That is when Russell Wilson signed his new contract with the Seahawks, and he was in bed with Sierra late at night.
Yeah,
when he did that, I was like,
in the morning.
I see you, Russ. I see you. By the way, Russ and Sierra looked good at the Met Gala yesterday. Joe Burrow was there.
I didn't see Russ. They look good. They look good, man.
They look good. They cleaned up nice.
Good,
they cleaned up nice.
I ain't see what Russ was wearing.
Where was the press release for me becoming the producer of this show and Reimer becoming the producer of Buckeye Show?
Okay, you know what? I feel horrible. I don't know. Reimer is, I guess, just he's working harder than you. He's tapped in with more important people than you.
No,
I don't know.
neither of us got one.
Because here's the thing. Well, he got an email. I do remember Reimer's. You're talking the official press release, though.
Yeah.
That wasn't there. Listen.
97.1 The Fan imaging, 10 TV imaging.
If it makes you feel any better, as you know, there's always emails sent out when someone has a birthday.
Why isn't 11 Warriors writing about us?
I don't know.
Listen, I got a text message about the promotions, and I was happy, guys. I mean, you guys got text messages? You got text messages?
Oh, we got people are texting DeVere about us.
Somebody said.
No, but if it makes you feel any better.
They're texting DeVere like they're trying to keep it a secret. And then every other promotion around here, everyone else getting press releases.
Oh, man. Well, listen.
Dispatch articles and Reddit streams. You kidding me?
Love it.
Talk to Fish about it. I'm sure he'll make it happen. But no, I didn't even get a happy birthday email sent out from me last year. And everybody else gets it. Yeah, I didn't even get that. So if it makes you feel any better, it happens to all of us.
I know the feeling.
It happens to all of us, TLC.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Nearly an interception by Tyvis Powell. What a mischance that was.
I don't know if you saw, but there was only one home run in the Reds and Braves game last night. Braves slugger Matt Olson hits the ball into the left field kind of corner where, the wall meets foul territory. Reds left fielder, I got to make sure I get his first name and his last name's Callahan. Tyler Callahan tries to leap into the wall. He fractures his forearm. Matt Olson continues to run the bases to complete the home run as Tyler Callahan is writhing in pain on the ground.
Yeah.
Fair or foul? Well, that didn't even make a big
I get what you're
baseball
saying,
joke there,
but it's
in play or out. No, that's still another baseball punt. Should Matt Olson have chilled out or should he have completed?
No, you get the home plate.
There you go.
You got to. You get it done. Did you see this injury though? If you can't handle those type of things, I would not watch it.
Okay, no
I would not watch it.
I'll be okay.
It was tough because it's like I'll never forget where I was when I saw Gordon Hayward's ankle leg.
Or Kevin Ware from Louisville.
That's the worst.
Yep.
By far the worst injury my eyes have ever seen. Okay, I'm not even going to describe it because I don't even want to go down that road. But I have no issue at all with Matt Wilson rounding the bases and touching home plate. I don't know what else you expect him to do. He hit a dinger. I feel bad for my guy. Again, it was nasty. If you can't handle those things, I would not look this up because it was tough, man. It was tough. Do you have a problem with him rounding the bases? Because I don't.
You got to finish. It's one of those things where we got to finish the play.
Yeah.
Got to finish the play.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because in my neighborhood, snitches get stitches.
We'll round it out here. So we were watching the NFL Network. Good Morning Football had some guy named Kyle Smith on, who is apparently a professional NFL stylist. So he comes up with all these outfits for Joe Burrow to show up to the stadium with before games. Is there an easier job and more of a fake job than just shopping for people?
Yeah, because somebody should have like it should have been a sting operation. Like, we're doing an interview and you arrest his ass right there on stage. Arrest him. Because it's like, you're charging these guys for these outfits, man? That's crazy.
It's the Met Gala.
You're charging these guys for these outfits.
You got to do it big.
They're paying to look like that. Matt, that's crazy.
They're connected. They're connected to Dolce & Gabbana. They're connected to Chanel. They're connected to Tom Ford. Come on. You know the game. It's a good job if you can get it.
Just because it got those names
like
on. Ellen DeGeneres.
I was going to say, just because it got that name on don't mean you look good, bro.
Listen, Burrow, last year I had an issue with the backless suit. Like, that was not it at all. Yesterday, the suit was
Hold on, wait. Just saying that.
You remember
he
that,
showed
though?
up to a football game with a backless suit
it was
on?
a fashion show. He was walking in the fashion
Even
show.
worse.
And there was a suit he had, and the back was just all
Hold
out.
on, wait. The pants was out and the top?
No, the pants
came in with a
The pants were not out.
They got a front suit on. This is crazy. Man.
It was his jacket.
That's what I'm saying. They should have it should have been a sting operation, and they should have arrested this guy.
I know. I told you guys yesterday, I don't like David Goggins, and motivational speaking is one of the most arrogant professions there is. We have another one. We have another fake profession, shopping for people. See, you were a little bit before this era because now it's all about what are you wearing to the stadium. You know, back in your day, you were the early 2010s, which was not that long ago, but it wasn't a big deal.
No,
like who was wearing what.
Suit on. It was like you showing up for work. It's like, oh, look, we're all going to dress up and wear suits. That's what it was for us.
Well, now you have like Twitter handles and Instagram handles that are dedicated to that alone, like league fits,
the walkthrough,
NFL, NBA,
business trip.
So guys take it seriously. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
I do too.
Now, if I was in this era, I would have played along.
And you would have a stylist. I know you would have a stylist.
I would paying someone to shop for.
I would be best self-dressed for sure. Best self-dressed.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay somebody for that. You can't. Man, because I don't even know what's going to happen.
Well, see, I just don't like the time. I wouldn't want to spend the time. Like, here are my measurements for my suits. This is the stuff I like. Go get it for me. Bring it to the house.
You like that?
That's the type of life I would want to live. Yeah.
Have you ever put on like something you've like not really comfortable with, like maybe a vest without a t-shirt?
No, I have not done
that. So the stylist brings back all stuff you have.
That I'm signing off on already. Like, see, they know what I like already before they go get it. They're not bringing anything crazy to the house. Like, that's not happening.
Would you be dressing yourself, or would your wife be like, hey, you're not dressing like these jokers who are showing up to the stadium like this?
No, I go against my wife sometimes because like she's not dressing me.
How's that usually work out for you?
Because I walk through my house, not around it, baby.
Talk about
Here it is.
Talk about it.
I love my wife. People, she's not listening, but
she's the queen.
Yeah, but I don't. Because she'll be like, "Who don't wear that?" But she might not know. She might not know.
She might not see the vision.
She might not know. Yeah.
Let's hear from Jalen Milroe next and pre-snap read his vision for goals in year number 1 out there in Seattle. We'll do that next in pre-snap reads. It's Rothman and Ice right here on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where our erectile dysfunction treatments are shown to be effective in nearly 90% of cases. Listen to what Alex has to say about our ED treatments.
I have been experiencing problems with ED, but that's all changed. My name's Alex, and I've been a patient for Tri-State Men's Health for under a year. I highly recommend this. Every day I wake up feeling good compared to I was back in the old days. It changed. It's more exciting. You know, I don't have a problem with ED anymore. I'm having a lot more fun. I was very comfortable. I was always comfortable in any conversation I had with Tri-State Men's Health. Yeah, I just want to let gentlemen out there know that you do not have to live with ED, that it is not just an aging process. It is also hormonal and balance and everything in your system. And once you get that under control and everything, you do go back to your youth a lot in how you feel.
Thanks, Alex. It's true. If you're like most men, we'll help you get your sex life back. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a coach at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. One of my most successful clients, not only in weight loss, but in attitude, came to us with stern doctor's orders that if he didn't do something, he would be dead within 5 years. He did not initially even want to have the conversation, but he signed up for the program. By the second week on the program, he was thanking me, thanking the program. He could not believe how much better he felt. Within 8 weeks, he was down 55 pounds. He was a true transformation of body, but definitely of mind. And of course, he feels amazing.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with a reminder that losing weight with Awaken 180 isn't about the number on the scale. It's about how that number spearheads endless successes. Bring your goals to Awaken 180. Then celebrate when you check off each and every one of them. Call 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads. No. T-shirt cannon. I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another soggy, kind of yucky day for us ahead. Good day to be indoors reading a book, as our afternoon highs will struggle to get into the upper 50s to low 60s, and the rain continues. For tonight, we will see eventually overnight the rain taper off, lows down into the 50s, but Wednesday is my pick of the week as highs get into the low 70s with mostly to partly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo for The Fan with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Lead.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, let's get into some pre-snap reads, Depot. But before we do that, at Bet365, folks, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. They got a new sign-up offer that's really cool. You can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. TLC, we were close to nailing that first basket yesterday. I picked Jaylen Brown at plus 425 to knock in the first bucket of the game. And so we went down the road of, like, who's going to win the tip? Kristaps Porzingis or Karl-Anthony Towns. We said Kristaps Porzingis would do that. That happened. First shot attempt of the game was Jaylen Brown, and he missed a three-pointer. So we were right there. Josh Hart ended up knocking in the first bucket of the game, and it was a tip-in. So, TLC, we were close, man. We didn't get it done.
Come on, Jalen. Don't be afraid to take it inside a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you know, they missed, Jacob, what did they miss? 42 threes yesterday? The Boston Celtics? Something crazy like that?
Yep.
Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was like 15 for like 40-something.
Insane.
Yeah.
Didn't the Timberwolves just miss 40 in Game 7
I believe they
of their
did.
last series?
I believe they did. Like, Boston's lived by the three, died by the three, and it came back to bite them because the Knicks crawled all the way back from a 20-plus point deficit yesterday.
That's the NBA mindset, man. It's like if I can't get in transition, three. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, and unless I have this like a mid-range killer, so I mean they're going up.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Speaking of going up in threes, I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell tonight. You got to unload the clip.
There we go.
Season's not on the line, but there's a very, very down feeling if you're 0-2 tomorrow morning. So I'm looking at 5 3 balls tonight from Donovan Mitchell at plus 210. You don't really get any value outside of that. 4 of them's minus 115. Yep. 5 of them, give me plus 210. You know he can be a playoff performer. He can get hot with the best of them. So I'm looking at Spider tonight. I think he's gonna put the squad on his back tonight, Depot.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think if Garland is out there, I know it's toe, but anything, get the offense initiated, get us in something, control the pace, control the tempo. He could be a difference maker and open up more for Donovan Mitchell and get the ball out of his hand so he can just score and attack.
I agree. If you're interested in any of the first basket juice today, you've got Evan Mobley is the leader at plus 450. He's actually tied with Donovan Mitchell. Those guys again at plus 450. Jared Allen plus 550. Darius Garland plus 750. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Today, 21 plus only. You must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
So, Depot, as you know, we've had some of these rookie mini camps popping off around the league. Like last weekend, you had a few teams getting after it. I saw today down there, Cincinnati, some of the Bengal guys are moving and shaking. It looks like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, those guys are putting in work. So any type of football is good for us to get into, for sure. But I did see Seattle. They put out some videos of Jalen Milroe, and they were practicing in one of their throwback unis, like that old school Seattle Seahawk with that blue, kind of that royalish blue that they have going on.
I call them the Steve Largents.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good call. And I'm like, that might be my favorite throwback in the league. It might be, just off the top of my head. Like, I'm in on the old school Giants, like the LT era Giants when they rolled those out there. I do like those. I like the red New England Patriots.
They number 4.
Okay.
Because they're not messing with the baby blue Oilers, the creamsicle Buccaneers, and the Kelly Green Eagles. Those are top 3 for me. I'm sorry.
I can't get down with the creamsicles, man.
Okay.
The other 2 that you like, I'm in.
Yeah.
The Kelly Green.
Those. The Oilers.
Yeah, the Oilers.
The baby blue.
Yeah. Those are tough. Those are really tough.
But you know, and it's probably debatable. Like you said, if you aren't in the creamsicle, I can see Seahawk being in the top 3.
Yeah,
I can see
that
Seahawk
works for me. Speaking of the Seahawks, everybody was telling us coming into the draft, this was a down year at quarterback. Not a lot of, no doubt, solidified. You know what you're getting talents at that position. Yeah. So you had some lottery tickets out there, and teams are hoping that they can cash in on those guys down the road, the Tyler Shucks of the world, the Shador Sanders, Dylan Gabriels of the world. And Seattle purchased a lottery ticket in the form of Jalen Milroe out of Alabama. Here is Jalen Milroe on his goals for year number 1 in the league.
My goal, honestly, is to come in and be the best version of myself, be better than I was the day before, and earn the trust and respect of everyone in the organization. Everyone from the top down, earn the trust and respect. With that, it comes other things, but that's number one. Any guy that comes in, no matter where you're selected in the draft, the first pick in the draft to the very end of the draft, you're Mr. Irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You're trying to earn the respect and trust everybody in the locker room and the organization. And so with that, it comes with being a good teammate as well. And being a good teammate to Sam Darnold, Drew Lock, everyone in the room, the coaches, showing that I care, I'm studying. So, other goals come with that, but the niche of everything is that.
You got to love what you heard right there, right?
Well, here, you know what I really love? Well, bottom line, Jaden Daniels, who was the guy before him?
Which team?
Penix.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels, there's quarterbacks in the NFL draft every year. But there's not starting NFL quarterbacks in the draft every year. This one pick, Jalen Milroe, could be the hit in this draft. This could be the one that everybody was like, what was I thinking in this draft, not drafting a 6'3", huge talent arm that runs a 4.3, and it looks and feels like a Mike linebacker. What the heck was I thinking? What was I thinking? The only other, since Lamar's drafted, this is the closest guy to him. Mm-hmm. And I passed on him for whoever. Mm-hmm. So if he hits, it's going to be very scary.
Yeah, because
his ceiling is, he has the highest ceiling out of all these quarterbacks.
I agree.
Highest ceiling.
I agree, because the skill set that he has with his legs, you can't teach that. You can't teach that. And he's running
Think
away
about the
from
Alabama
people.
game. The Alabama-Wisconsin game. Mm-hmm. How good he looked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only issue is the inconsistencies of his game. Because you're right. You catch him on the right weekend, you're like, my goodness, this is a top 5 pick. But then you watch him the next week, and he's throwing balls in the dirt, or he's throwing stuff, over guys' heads. So that's just what they have to hone in on. And if they do cash that in, they're really going to be cooking with hot grease. And I love this setup that they have.
Yeah.
He mentioned in that same room right now it's Sam Darnold, it is Drew Lock. If this thing takes a year or two, that is perfectly fine for them. It's perfectly fine for them because he's got the fastball. He's got the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Give me a little changeup. Give me a little slider. Give me those off-speed, those intermediate, those easy throws, because that's what really hurt him. Because you're right. Prior to last year, before we kicked off last college football season, he was known as one of the best deep ball throwers in the game. You look at 2 years ago, he was putting the ball on money. And you saw his connection with Ryan Williams last year, the freshman phenom last season. But it was just some of those what you thought should be easy, consistent throws that he was not able to make. Mm-hmm. And if the offensive staff in Seattle can clean that up, they may end up with the best quarterback in this draft. It's a massive if, but I have no issue with what they did. And I was saying if I were going to cash in on a lottery ticket that wasn't Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, this is the guy I would have picked. Mm-hmm. I would have picked Jalen Milroe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm getting, because it's just going to be, I think everybody's like, all right, well, if you didn't have a shot at Jaden Daniels, you're kicking yourself we should have got this guy, or we should have made a move for this guy. But as it shakes out, he's the one in that draft.
Yeah.
He's the one. I think this draft, if you say Adevere in 5 years, which quarterback would you roll with that is going to be at the top of the league? I'll go with Jalen.
I think it could be Jalen Milroe.
I'm fine with that.
And I'm not surprised either that Seattle drafted a quarterback like this because of what they see twice a year against Kyler Murray. And the stress that puts on a defense, right? And knowing that extra element of a quarterback's game when things are wrong and the play isn't clean, that quarterback can make you right. And Kyler Murray is one of those guys. Jay Daniels one of those guys. Josh Allen is one of those guys. And maybe in time, Jalen Milroe will be one of those guys for Seattle. Those are your pre-snap reads for today. Coming up in 2 minutes, we'll lock back in on this Ohio State football team coming out of spring ball with our guy Dan Hope from 11 Warriors. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, you can save on fresh medium avocados or delicious honey mangoes. Just 69 cents each with your digital coupon.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. It is a big sale at Universal Windows Direct. You're getting an incredible 50% off your windows. That's half off, and it gets even better. For a limited time, you get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year. I got to tell you when something's half and when something's a year. You also get a free entry door with your window purchase. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Give them a call, 614-502-5220, or visit universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Did you ask about Pick 3 from the Ohio Lottery? Okay, Pick 3 is a daily draw game where you pick 3 individual numbers between 0 and 9 that can be played straight, where numbers must be drawn in an exact order or boxed where they can be drawn in any order. You can win hundreds, and wagers start at only 50 cents. Want to learn more? Okay, go to OhioLottery.com or the Ohio Lottery app. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best teams don't always win titles. Sounds like AR and Maddie bragging about their fantasy teams.
Hey, that's cheating!
This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. It's Rothman and Ice. Matty Ice, Javier Posey in the house today. Going to use right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bring on our guy, Dan Hope, Deputy Editor and lead Ohio State football beat writer over at 11 Warriors. Dan, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, good. Thanks so much for asking, and we appreciate your time. I'm sure you're aware of some of the quotes that have come out of ESPN's article with Jim Knowles. Now, the former defensive coordinator for Ohio State, now over at Penn State, Heather Dinich, caught up with him, and there were some interesting quotes that came out of that whole piece, Dan, when it comes to the timeline and his contract and when he was asking for a new contract. When you read that and saw some of those quotes, what are your thoughts on what Jim had to say?
Well, I think it's been, apparent, kind of since this all went down in January that, there were some things that Jim Knowles and Ryan Day and Ohio State didn't necessarily see eye to eye on. So, to hear Jim kind of acknowledge some of those things, I think for the first time publicly, it certainly kind of shed some new light on that. But, I think, you can kind of just tell. I mean, I think Ryan Day was on an interview with Josh Pate last week, and he was kind of asked about coaches leaving, and he, kind of made some comments about loyalty and stuff like that. And so I think, you kind of just get the sense that, there was just something was amiss there, that those two didn't quite see eye to eye with each other, and it, ultimately led to them going their separate ways.
Yeah, and that was tough. I mean, like we said, because you might know more than I. We cover this team, and last season it's just that 1 week. I think it was Iowa. C.J. Hicks was at this jack position, what Jim Knowles is historically known for, right? And then after that, we go back to the 4 down front, and the defense takes off. We're creating rushes, and then that's how we finish the season. And I just wonder, was this situation rooted in whatever that disagreement was, that, hey, whatever ideology we went with defensively, it wasn't like Jim Knowles, like what he presented when he came here, like, I'm running this jack defense. So it's like, oh, we're going to go in this direction, and it worked, and we won a national championship. And so maybe he wanted that commitment from Ohio State to say, hey, even though we went against my ideology, still show me you love me. And I'm okay with the decision that Ryan made, because it just seems like this guy he wanted to leave anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's all fair. I mean, I think, there were conversations that took place. We knew that, since October, that after that Oregon game, there were some hard conversations that took place between Ryan Day with Jim Knowles and the rest of the defensive staff about, hey, we need to change what we're doing here, because if they didn't, it could have cost them a national championship. So I think, the thing that I would say to everyone involved, Jim Knowles, Ryan Day, everyone involved, to their credit, is that regardless of whatever personal differences may have been bubbling up behind the scenes, everybody did their job. Like, the Ohio State's defense was the best in the country in the second half of the season. So regardless of whatever might have been happening, Jim Knowles still did his job, and Ohio State's defense was dominant, and Ohio State won a national championship. So I think, he deserves all the credit in the world for that. The fact that they ultimately decided to part ways, I mean, I think, to your point, like, if they weren't seeing eye to eye, then maybe this was the best thing for everybody at the end of the day, for, Ohio State to move on, Jim Knowles to move on. And, I think with the good vibes around Matt Patricia right now, certainly you hate seeing Jim Knowles go to one of your rivals, a team that's going to be major competition in the Big Ten this year. But I think there's a lot of excitement, within the Woody Hayes Athletic Center about what Matt Patricia can do with this defense going forward.
Dan Hope, lead Ohio State football beat writer for 11 Warriors, joining us here on The Fan. Dan, I want to remove the quarterback scenario just out of the equation for 1 second and ask you this. Looking at this roster, looking where they are right now, and it's early on in the process, but what is your biggest question mark about this team and what they may look like when we get to week 1 against Texas?
Defensive tackle depth, and I feel like I've kind of said that over and over again recently, but the reality is, that was a one position that you looked at where Ohio State needed to upgrade its roster in the transfer portal this offseason. That was the one position where it didn't happen, where, Ohio State just didn't find the right guy to add at that position. And so now you look at going forward into the season where, I think you've got two defensive tackles that they feel good about at the top of the depth chart in Caden McDonald and Edric Houston. But who else? That's the question that really wasn't answered this spring in terms of who else they feel like they can count on at that defensive tackle position. And, as you guys well know, I mean, that defensive tackle is not a position that you want your starters playing every single snap. So they've got to figure out some options there for backing those guys up, for rotating at the defensive tackle position. And I think that, for me, from a personnel standpoint, that's by far the biggest question for me.
Absolutely, Dan. So I love the D-line. I'm really excited to see Edric Houston and what he brings. I remember that goal line stand and what his role was in that Penn State games. And normally with great players, they flash. So I think he'll have a good season. But outside of quarterback, what position group that you're really excited to see? And this might be, a group that we might not evaluate yet. Like, I'm interested to see who's our nickel going to be, what our defensive backfield looks like, and how we grow there. What position group, what players are you excited about that we aren't really talking about, but will play a major role this season?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys you could talk about because there's going to be so many players who are stepping up into bigger roles this season. But, I think that the linebacker position is one that I think has a real chance to be a strength of this team. Obviously, we saw a lot of what Sonny Styles could do last year, and I think he got better and better as the year progressed, as he got more comfortable in that linebacker role. But I think he has the chance to take another big step this year and become one of the best linebackers in the country. And then I think Arvell Reese and Peyton Pierce are two other guys at that linebacker position that there's a lot of reason to be excited about. I think, Arvell Reese, we saw it in flashes last year, as, kind of like you said with Edric Houston, where, he came in the game in a lot of those free linebacker packages and made some plays, but now he's going to have the opportunity to be that starting Mike linebacker. And then Peyton Pierce had a really good spring. Everybody's really talking him up as somebody who can contribute at that position as well. So, I'm excited to see what that linebacker group can become, because I think they have a chance to be a real backbone of this defense.
Based off of what you've seen from the guys at practice and the spring game and what you've heard from Coach Day and Coach Hartline, when it comes to that position, do you feel like this quarterback race is as close as they're telling us it is?
I think it's close. I think for Ryan Day to come out and say that Lincoln Kienholz had the lead going into the spring game. The transfer portal was closed at that point. So, I think, in the spring, there's reason to be cynical about is it really a competition because they're trying to keep guys from entering the portal. But, the portal's closed now. They know those guys are going to be there. So I do believe it's a real competition. I think, Julian Sayin did what he needed to do in the spring game to kind of get momentum back in that quarterback race. But I still think that he's got to go out there and earn it. I think he's got to show that consistency that maybe he lacked this spring in those first few weeks of camp if he's going to lock down that job. And, that's kind of the position Will Howard was in last year, where he had an up and down spring, and then he really took off in preseason camp. So I think the hope will be that Julian Sayin can do the same thing. But if that doesn't happen, I think the door is still open for Lincoln Kienholz to make a push.
There's a lot of people up in Cleveland excited about Quinshon Judkins and what he can bring. Same thing could be said over in New England right now for Travion Henderson and the potential there. Those guys being removed from the running back room, what they brought in via the portal and, the recruiting trail. Do you how much of a drop-off do you think there will be, if there is going to be a drop-off at all in your mind in the running back room this year?
I think there will be a drop-off because you're talking about replacing two guys who were early second-round picks, two guys who were two of the best running backs in college football last year. So to say that there won't be a drop-off, I think that would be tough. But I do think that there's reasons to feel good about what Ohio State has in that running back room. I think, James Peoples is a guy they're really high on. I thought C.J. Donaldson looked really good this spring. You could see, his slimming down and making a difference in terms of him having an extra gear. And then Bo Jackson had a really good spring as well. I think he's a guy who has a chance to, earn some playing time as a freshman. So I think between those three, I think they're in a good spot at running back. It's not the same as at this time last year when it's like Ohio State's going to have the best running back room in the country. I can't go to that lengths because these guys are a little bit less proven. And I think, my question with that room is really, that home run hitting ability that Travion had. Will they have that same kind of big play potential out of this group? I think that remains to be seen. But I do think that, James Peoples, C.J. Donaldson are going to be a good 1-2 punch. And I think Bo Jackson maybe has the potential to be kind of that home run guy in spots.
He's the Ohio State football lead beat writer for 11 Warriors. Buckeye fans, make sure you're following him on X at Dan_Hope. Dan, we appreciate you as always, man. Happy all season, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you. Dan was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I asked him about Travion. I just saw this come down from the New England Patriots. It looks like Travion Depot is going to rock 32.
There it is.
Over there in Foxborough. So Quinshon will rock 10 for the Browns, and Travion Henderson will rock 32 for New England. He gets to hop on into an offense that doesn't have a lot of playmaking juice in there. We know Travion is explosive. People fell in love with his pass protection this year and what he put on tape. So Travion, well-rounded back, and I think he's going to have some more opportunities to make some noise next to a young quarterback in Drake May this year.
Man, I think he's going to come in and just be one of the best backs in the league. He's the Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara. He comes with that standard package. Mm-hmm. Like if you're buying a car, you got to be able to run screens. You got to be able to have big plays in the run game, home run hitter. Got to be able to get in between the tackles and pick up those other yards and play in the pass game. Travion checks all those boxes, and probably there isn't a better kid in this year's draft than Travion. So super excited for him.
Yeah, good stuff. Good luck to him out there in New England. We'll hit the finish line of the show next. We'll tell the truth. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, I love that we fix ACs for free.
I don't think we do that, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO. Stay with me, Aaron. I'm going to explain to you how it works.
You're going to explain to me how my own invention works?
Get Eco.
ECO. Step 1. Some other HVAC company tells a customer that they need a whole new system.
Yes.
And then they call us.
They can always call us, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO. And then we repair their system for free.
No, then they pay us.
But we give them money back, right?
We give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old system when they finally do need a new one.
Up to $1,500, right?
Right.
Aaron, we're fixing HVAC systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We extend the life of their system.
That's right.
Those extra years are free. On me.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Spring is here and it's time for a fresh start, starting with your ride. At Germain Toyota, we've got an offer that'll drive you into the season in style. Get behind the wheel of a 2025 Toyota Tundra SR5 today for just $499 a month. That's right, a powerful, rugged Tundra, just like the one I'm driving, for $449 a month for 36 months. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net. $39.99 down, 36-month lease, plus tax, title, and fees. No security deposit required with approved credit. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
What? All the budget has to be used now? And we can use all the media buy?
Javier's marketing firm just got its dream funding.
Okay, ideas. Bobbleheads? No. T-shirt cannon? I seriously need some help here.
He needs to find marketing managers who are worth every dollar.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsoring a job on Indeed gives it a visibility boost, so you can hire faster. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
The Buckeye Show.
I heard Jake Diebler on Bruce Thornton. He's the best in the country, you know? There is no one I ever want to have running point.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring champions of faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring champions of faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. For all your window needs, visit windownation.com.
All right, TLC, take us home, my guy.
All right. Today is National Beverage Day. And when I was in St. Louis, I was doing radio with a couple guys who were kind of like straddling age 40.
Okay.
And so this question comes from my experience of listening to them, not necessarily my own, because I'm not at their age yet. You guys are closer. You guys aren't there.
I was going to say, is that why he's asking us that? Because we're in our mid-30s? Is that why?
Well,
yeah, that's why he's asking.
Let me ask the question, and you tell me if this applies to you or not. If not, then I have no problem with that. How old were you when you realized that you couldn't drink like you used to?
Ooh.
Sounds like it applies to you guys.
Yeah, it does.
Not a bad question.
That applies to me. Probably like 30 or 32.
Yeah.
Like it happened not too long ago.
Yeah, it's in that window for sure because it turns into the, man, like, this is like a day and a half after I drank. Right. And I still feel like my head's in like a gray cloud. Mm-hmm. And people always will tell you that.
Yep.
But then in your 20s, you're like, whatever. But it's real. It's real. So TLC, you got a couple more laps around the track, big dog, and you'll be joining the party.
I'm still good, but
it's right around 30. It's around 30. Start kicking
It's around 30.
No, it can be a 2-day investment, though. I understand that, but
yes,
that's on that second day where you're just like, we're not.
I'm washed, is what I tell myself now. I'm washed.
Tryouts. Which of your teammates would you not want dating your sister?
If we're doing like the fan, Matty Ice.
Wait a minute. I'm not even single.
Like, I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you were, it would be Matty Ice. No, not him.
Me?
I'm joking. Yeah, but you're the only guy. You're the only criminal here. You're the only guy that I can profile. So I would say Matty Ice.
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. He doesn't know what it means.
No, I do. You know, he got some inner player inside of him.
Some inner player.
Mm-hmm. I'm profiling him like that. You do. You say you don't. Say you don't.
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm going to remember that when you say you're a player.
I don't. Well, I've never told you that. You know I've never told you that.
I know.
But
I think I'm a retired player, so
I would hope.
Yeah. But no, if you're saying teammates with the fan,
it would be TLC.
Yeah, Cole. Yeah,
it would definitely be Cole.
Because I'm the biggest threat.
Cole's a player. He's a player from the Himalayas.
That's what I was insinuating. I'm profiling Matty Ice as a threat to my sister.
There you go.
So yeah, him and Cole.
No, I'm not even eligible for this anymore.
This is hypothetical.
He's trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah, no.
He's trying to get me in trouble with what he's trying to do. So Jacob's not available. I'm not available. You're not. It's TLC. It comes down to you.
You have the entire station to choose from.
There it is.
I think everybody else is married, though, for the most part.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, it's all you, TLC. You out here in the streets.
Bring gas.
Notre Dame and Clemson signed a deal to engage in a 12-year series starting in 2027, ending in 2038. So that means that in 2029, Notre Dame is going to have on their schedule, now Clemson, the traditional USC rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
They have the 5 ACC matchups, which means one of them will be Florida State. Maybe they'll be good by then, maybe not. And then also some home and homes with Alabama and Texas. So will these games actually be played by then? Or will we have even more conference realignment that knocks some of this stuff out?
I won't be surprised if we get the latter, but I think we'll get these games. Because I remember when the Texas game for Ohio State was announced years ago. And it felt like it was never going to get here.
Yeah.
And it's here.
Because Alabama's is I remember when Alabama
was announced, too.
And that's next year.
That's coming
2027 or is it 26, 27?
The year after that, because I wouldn't be surprised if it's a home and home with Texas. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, it's 27.
Okay.
It's 27. You're right. But that's around the corner. And I feel like when I started the fan, I was like, whoa, I'm going to be almost 40. But it's almost here.
It's here.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
I like this for Clemson and Notre Dame.
Yeah, me too.
Locking in together, getting these two brands. It'll be awesome for us as fans. But, I see the vision and what they're trying to do. So I'm in on it. But I think those games will get played, TLC.
Yeah.
Caster Connection fan poll. Which of these quarterbacks will be the first to win a Super Bowl? That's actually going to be kind of tough. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or a little bit of a wild card, Jared Goff?
Boy, so 3 guys on the AFC side of things and 1 on the NFC side. See, my process of elimination, I'm going to go with the guy on the NFC side.
I was going to say he has a better chance
because he doesn't have to go up against all of those guys.
Well, if those other guys eliminate each other, and then let's just say the Bengals win, but Joe's ankle is messed up in the Super Bowl, Jared has a better chance. I think you're right. You have a better chance with the one NFC guy. Your odds are better.
And where their team is currently, they're a heck of a team.
I would go with Jared Goff in that situation.
They got bit by injuries last year.
Yep.
Because let's say you're Lamar, you're Josh. You clip one of those guys, right?
Still Pat.
You're going on to Pat. You're going on to Joe. It never ends on the AFC side.
I'll go with Jared Goff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Goff as well.
Yep.
You know who my dad is?
And then we'll round it out here because you guys actually flew through that. Usually Rothman just starts talking and then gets to me with 1 minute left, but you guys actually engaged in the conversation.
Yep.
So we'll round it out with one that's improv. Which one of your football teammates would you not let date your sister?
Oh man. From my time here?
Yeah.
Terrell Pryor easily. No way.
What about Houston? By Houston.
And Solomon Thomas too, and he knows why. He's
from Stanford.
Yeah, no. He gets that all the time. Solomon Thomas, he played with us. Ohio State.
Okay, my bad. I got you. Okay,
Solly. But that's my dude. And then in the pros, it would be Hopkins. No.
D-Hop?
Yeah, nah. Yeah, Hop. And that's my guy.
He was outside, though.
Yeah. I just Hop. No.
There you go. Those are your pre-stop reads for today. Hey, if you ever miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up because wherever you get your podcast, just type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Our podcast is sponsored by Bet365. Depot, appreciate you as always. TLC, Jacob, great job on your side of the glass. Folks, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow at high noon. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born. And before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know firsthand what it's like to battle through joint pain. After years of the hard hits and the wear and tear on the field, I thought pain, it was just going to be something I had to live with. Let me tell you, that's no longer the case thanks to QC Kinetics. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics has been leading the charge nationwide in non-surgical joint pain relief, helping over 50,000 patients get back to doing what they love, pain-free. Whether it's your knees, back, hips, shoulders, you pick it. If joint pain's been slowing you down, you need to hear about what Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team in Columbus are doing. They're using cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologic treatments with powerful healing properties to repair and restore damaged joint tissue. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Just real results. The kind of treatment I wish I had access to during my playing days, and now you do. Imagine this summer playing around at golf, chasing the kids, and just enjoying a walk without the pain. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-228-4544. They now have offices in Grove City and Canal Winchester.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I always have the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. It's luscious. I swear by two things, water and Weed Man. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will make sure your lawn is weed-free and looking gorgeous. Of course, they get rid of weeds, but they also do aeration, mosquito control, grub control, crabgrass prevention, and flea and tick control for your four-legged friends. For a free quote, give them a call, 614-733-3747, weedmanusa.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
If my buttery smooth voice represents the photos in your social media feed,
And this is closer to what real life is like. Social media can be fun, but remember, it's only showing you
the filtered version of life. So when social media is stressing you out, check in on yourself and remember, it's not the whole story. For more tips on reducing your stress, go to mha.ohio.gov/check-in. A message from the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. And Rich and his team are ready to get you in a great new Honda this spring. Purchase or lease. He's going to make you feel awesome about your next vehicle and your experience. Grab a hold of this one, a 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Lease it for only $347 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles, and only $19.99 down. He's got rates as low as 2.9%. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. May is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you're going to be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. Beat the heat and keep the AC in your home with Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you'll get 60% off and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. Plus, no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. That's a whole lot of savings and a super smart investment, especially when prices are rising. So how exactly does Window Nation keep the prices affordable? Well, they work directly with top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to get 60% off. Plus, a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. And you pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's window